I got the notification that time.
All right, it says it's live. I haven't seen it pop up on YouTube yet, so we'll give it just a second to make sure. And there we are. So, hello everybody. I'm Glenn,
and I'm Xander,
and together we're Fun King 3D, and
I'm James from Print and Play.
This is weird for me because I'm used to it always being the Friday night 3D printing community hangout. So I don't get to do these collaboration things too often, but
tonight it's just the B-roll.
What's that?
I said tonight it's just the B-roll. It's the B team.
Yeah, the B team. Yeah, so it looks like we have Adam AUD1 and Viper Tech joining us already. It does say that there's now 12 watching. So
that's going up like crazy.
Yeah, it's jumping up. So if you guys are watching, make sure you throw something in the chat so that we know you're here and we can acknowledge you.
Make your visual noise.
At least until it gets like chaos. There is. Oh, I'm gonna butcher your name, buddy. Is it Jays? It's Starks. I'm good with Starks. The first name is hard for me. We have Devilish Printing with a good day, guys. Would that be from Australia? We have Murray.
Jace.
Jace. Okay, it is Jace. Good. I didn't butcher that too bad. A Skewed View 3D. Keith. Joe Bob. Racing. I probably shouldn't have started this. Harley is here. Harley's a friend of ours. All right, so this is going to get a little crazy.
I'm just going to let the hellos from going forward. I'm just going to say hi to everybody right now.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, but I hate when people come and they hang out, but they don't say anything, and then you don't know. You don't know they're there. You know, it'll say like 20 people watching, but only 2 people are in the chat. And so then it's like, oh, that's Keith. That's Keith from Magigoo.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I was reading down the list and I read Keith, but I didn't put it together. Then I seen his avatar with his bright yellow shirt. So, but anyway, tonight we don't really James and I didn't really pick a topic. I kind of did this off a cuff because this will be the first time that Xander and I have done a live feed since the Joel Effect. I know most of you guys are here because of Joel's contest, which asked you guys to come and subscribe to us, which we're very thankful that you're here. We hope that you've so far found something on our channel that you like. And then you guys should all know at this point that we also launched a contest Friday morning and kind of did the same thing. And I say kind of because we don't have the power of Joel. We don't have Joel's effect, but and one of those people that hopefully if you guys have gone and entered the contest, one of the people that you have subscribed to is in fact James.
That's me.
So yeah, so this is just kind of an opportunity for us to chit chat with each other, but also with you guys and answer any questions that you guys might have. And just, I guess, for all of us to get to know one another, you know, all 5,500 of you, and then you know, Xander and James and I. I'm gonna have to get a pen and paper and start writing names down though. So,
I'm terrible with linking names to faces, but since there's no faces in this, I think I'm gonna do fine.
No, you only have to remember avatars and names.
That's right.
So, yeah, it looks like quite a few are saying that they came from Joel, which he's such an awful human being, isn't he? I mean,
he's the worst. He's literally the worst.
You know, I went to bed that Friday night at 1:30 in the morning with plans of getting so much stuff done on Saturday. I had this whole list of chores that I needed to do around the house, and you know, I've been working on Christmas lights, and I was going to start putting Christmas lights up. And
yeah, Joel ruined
I spent Saturday staring at Social Blade.
You know what? You created the same effect for me. My wife's like, hey, you know I'm here, right? You can put the phone down. I'm like, but it goes up every time I refresh.
Well, and then the other night when you were doing your your drawing for your giveaway, and I said to you that there was something big coming on Friday, and you're like, oh, you're gonna release the scroller video. That made me laugh inside so much.
Especially since I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna do it. Like you would have denied it outright if you weren't planning that, and you knew all along.
Absolutely.
I woke up and I'm so terrible at like, let's see what everything's doing first thing in the morning. So I pick up my phone and I'm like, it says 380 on the dot. And I'm like, I went to bed at 3:03, and I'm like, are my eyes blurry? Is that 8 actually a 0? And then like, because the problem with the tweets, right? So the tweets weren't being tagged, so I couldn't figure out where the stuff was coming from. And then finally, like 20 minutes, it popped up with your 5K giveaway. I'm like, I know what he did.
We have two questions right now. Ghost has asked, do you guys print with ABS on your ANET A8? Which I assume that's for me because you don't have an A8, do you, James?
I do not. I just have.
You should pick one up. They're only $119 right now. Using my coupon code that GearBest gave me. But to answer that question, I have not. In fact, I've only printed ABS one time ever, and it was a mistake. It was an unknown filament. I thought it was PLA. It was not. It was definitely ABS. So I only printed ABS, but that was on the Prusa anyway. The ANET, I've never printed anything but PLA, as much as I hate to admit that. So it's undergoing some construction. It's becoming an AM8. So, but I will at some point actually try to run at least PETG through it.
For your mod, did you buy the kit or did you order the?
Would say that again?
For your metal mod for the ANET A8, did you order the kit or did you order the parts individually and like print off the extra parts?
Oh no, I ordered. It was an A8. I bought an A8, assembled it, used it.
But like for your conversion kit, I mean.
Oh, I just ordered all the pieces and then I printed all the PETG parts on the Prusa.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, but the next question that we have, Joe Bob wants to know what is our Twitter handle. So I mean, in a nutshell, guys, I can wrap this up really fast. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Gab AI. Pretty much anywhere that you can throw a name or a handle onto, we are Fun King 3D, all one word, and you will find us there. So, and there's links in our description to all of our social media and to our website. And then James isn't as organized as us. He's sometimes print and play, sometimes JC print and play.
Well, there's been other print and plays before, so you know.
How dare they?
Yeah, right. I guess I should have done a little more research before I picked my name, but now I'm stuck with it. So.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. So, Butch is here. Hey, Butch. Glenn, you really have to support your Christmas lights on EMT. I'm assuming that you're talking. The Christmas lights that go on my house is on a 1/2-inch electrical conduit, metal conduit. So like I have a couple pieces that are, I think the longest one's 24 or 26 feet. I think there's a 26 footer, a 24 footer, and then just like some 7 and 9s. And I store them in one long piece all year long. And then I bring them out. And this year I printed my own custom gutter clips, which worked out awesome. And I climb up and just clip the lights onto the gutter and it's done. So as little time on the ladder as possible. So as far as the supporting, I don't know if you're talking about actual physical support, but it is probably every 5 feet I have a clip. So Rover's here. Hello, Rover. Ooh, I'm breaking the table. Murray says, I'm thinking of getting my first 3D printer. Are there any specific tools or tips that you recommend? That could be a whole evening in itself, could it not?
Yep.
Marie, if you want to reach out to me via email, all my information is down below. I will definitely send you some recommendations, but it's going to be in a two-way conversation because there's a lot of questions that I got to ask you too. So
the best thing.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the best thing to do before you start the email of the conversation. When you're getting ready to send them the email, let them know what you're planning to do with it, what your goal is in terms of print and stuff like that. Because that's the thing. A lot of people ask me what the best 3D printer is. It really comes down to what you're going to use it for. So start off with what you're going to use it for, and then Glenn should be able to give you a pretty educated guess as to what you should buy.
And a lot of opinion. I like to throw a lot of opinion in there too. Waldo is asking, I mentioned being able to get an A8 for $120. Yes. There is a, I'll have to look. Hang with us, Waldo. I will get that information posted. I'll just go suck it off of Twitter and stick it back in here. There's a code, coupon code to get it down to 119. So, hello, Amy. Saw your video about the clips. That's why I asked. Okay, excellent. Justin's here. Hello, Justin. By the way, anytime that Justin enters a competition, everybody's might as well pack up and go home. He seems to win like every contest. What is the cheapest but best filament do you recommend? Well, cheapest and best are two completely opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm a big fan of AIO Robotics. I feel bad that you're not getting to talk, James. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat, but
I think it's better for everybody if I don't talk. You're better.
I'm very partial to AIO Robotics. If you want to get a good assortment of colors without spending a lot of money initially, because they're half-kilo rolls, and they're actually on sale right now. If you go to AIO Robotics website, they're on sale $88 for the 12-pack, which is awesome. And if you want a relatively cheap filament that prints beautifully, Polymaker Polylite PLA. Not a lot of colors yet, but that blew me away how well that printed. So, $820 where Rover, again, I will get that information out. In fact, Rover, if you follow me on Twitter, you should have gotten the tweet today. I swore that I wasn't going to spam it. So, Waldo says he'll stick around. See, now I roped you in, Waldo. You can't go anywhere. Justin says that he wishes he could win them all, but it's not likely. I don't know. You've won an awful lot, Justin. So, all right, this is good. James, why don't you tell a joke or sing a song for a minute so I can.
Oh God, you're gonna put me on the spot. Well, no jokes or songs, but I'll jump into the sort of filament discussion. Filament's kind of like printers. I target cheap filament if I'm going to be looking at printing off something that I want to finish or whatever. So stuff that prints solid but may not have the nicest finish. But if you're trying to print stuff off that you want to display as is, then you probably want to go with a little higher end stuff. For some of the cosplay stuff I've been doing lately, I've been using Solutech, which is pretty cheap. It's like $18 a kilogram or $17 a kilogram on Amazon US. And it prints fairly nice. I mean, I end up sanding and finishing it anyways. So the prints are solid. They don't delaminate or anything like that. It's decent stuff.
Sanders over here trying to open a bag of graham crackers because he's used to the mics being muted on the Friday night. What's even funnier is because I was on a different screen, so I didn't have the camera up, so he couldn't see himself. So he's just assuming that none of y'all can see him either. All right, so are you watching the chat, James?
I am watching it.
Any of those that you want to answer, please just.
Okay, so food grade. Food grade's tricky because there's a lot of materials that are rated for being food grade, but because when you're printing with stuff, it leaves obviously the layer lines. It's really prone to growing bacteria in it. So generally speaking, I think PETG is rated for food, but you still want to basically put a food grade coating on the outside of it to get rid of the layer lines and to make sure there's no spot for bacteria to grow. Racing Mouse wants to know what's printing behind me. I'm printing an 11-inch wide TIE Fighter for a buddy of mine that'll be in one of the Make a Model Mondays going forward. I can switch the cam if anybody wants to see it. I think I can switch it. Let's see.
All right, I posted the link, and yes, that is an affiliate link. For those of you guys that like poo-poo the affiliate links, it's fine. You can just go to GearBest and find it. But for those of you that don't know, affiliate links help the channel but don't cost you anything additional. And the code is MyMiniFactory. And according to GearBest, that will give it to you for $119.
I'm going to do a quick check to see. I forget what the coding was they were using for doing food grade stuff. Give me a couple of seconds. I'll pull it up. And in the meantime, I've switched to the printer view so you guys can take a look at that typewriter and let me know what you think.
Ghost posted, Helium walks into a bar. The bartender says, I can't serve you. Helium doesn't react. Oh, I can't serve you. Helium doesn't react. Yes, Tony, I'm selling out, brother. Gotta make a little money where I can. This content making's expensive. Justin says, I won the E10 and the other I built from random parts off eBay in an experiment. E10 is still under modification, waiting on parts for last upgrades. Yeah, but Justin, you also won part of our 250 subscriber giveaway, which was 2 months ago. That still blows my mind. And wasn't there, I thought you won one other contest right about that same time too. So how dare you make money? No, let me tell you what, Ghost. As of right now, we started this in May. This is full disclosure. I don't have anything to hide. We started this whole adventure in the end of May, and since then we've made $15 through Amazon. We made I've earned $11 through GearBest and now $6 through YouTube. So there's not huge money to be made. All I'm looking for is I mean, if the manufacturers want to send us stuff, that's great. I'm just looking for content. I'm not looking to get rich off of this. I have a full-time job. I do this for love, you know, and enjoyment. So Harley wants to know if you still want to build that drone.
No, not really.
Actually, Harley, I don't think he ever wanted to build the drone, but
Stupid Twitter.
This is Jake from class, and nice Star Wars ship, I think. I should say printing in all AIO, and I won cap tubes from Jatman. Xander tearing into them grams already. You guys are balling now. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get that check from YouTube for $6.41 or whatever it is. I'm gonna cash it into pennies and like spread it out and roll around in it.
Everybody at work keeps asking me, "Hey, how much have you made off your YouTube?" So I'm like, "It's like $15 now. I'm kind of a big deal." Okay, so there are food-safe epoxies that you can put on 3D prints. I can compile a list, so reach out to me after the live stream. I'll send them off. There's a bunch of different opinions on which ones to use, but I'm glad to toss you guys the information. So yeah, just reach out to me. Twitter's probably the easiest thing after the live stream, and I'll show you what I know.
I'm gonna have to like mute my mic in and out so that because Xander likes to chit chat with me, and I didn't want to overrun you there.
That's fair.
Xander, can you play when we're done? Oh, he wants to know if you can play. No, I think Xander has to go to bed after this because Dad is exhausted.
Yeah.
I've spent the last, I don't know, 3 days now just putting up Christmas lights, and I wish I had a camera that I could swing over to show you. My Mega Tree Christmas tree is about 11,000 LEDs. It's 29 feet, I think it ended up, 29 feet tall. It's just mammoth. So, Amy said, McDuck money pit. That's exactly what I was thinking with all my pennies. Just roll around them pennies like Scrooge McDuck.
I think there was like a game theory or a film theory or something where they basically showed that if he actually jumped into a thing of pennies like that, he would die.
Probably, yeah. They would be quite compacted.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Joe Bob wants to know how you smooth PLA 3D prints easily. I don't think that you can do it easily. Well, that smooth on.
Yeah, here, I got a second. I'll grab it. Okay.
Yeah, that stuff seems to work.
The XTC 3D.
There you go.
Works pretty well. So basically, this stuff will spread on. It's thermal reactive, so it heats up a bit. And and it sands easier than the PLA does. So you brush it in to fill in the gaps, and then you sand it down after the fact. So that's one of the ways I do it. One of the other ways, this is a piece I'm working on right now, and I've basically just been spraying this with filler primer, which is used for actually a lot of like auto body stuff for like minor scratches. It seeps in there, so you do 3 or 4 coats, and then you give it a sand, and it leaves you with a fairly smooth finish. It's pretty easy to work with. Other than that, there's like, no matter what though, you're gonna like, it's not as easy as ABS. You can't just give it the nail polish remover treatment and have it smooth out, unfortunately.
Yeah, acetone. There
are some chemicals that will do it to PLA, but they're significantly harsher than acetone. So.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was I think Tom that was talking about that, and I guess those chemicals are like really bad stuff.
Yeah.
So
your other option too is you can buy self-leveling paints. Like the XTC is a self-leveling product, so if you get paints that'll adhere to plastic that are self-leveling, they'll settle into all those like grooves and stuff like that. So you'll still have to give a light coating and then the second coat, but you can often eliminate a lot of your layer lines. It's a lot of L's in 1 or 2 passes.
So I'm trying to keep up with chat too, and I might butcher your name. Is it Anoop or Anoop? Asked, have you ever thought of doing a collaboration with another 3D printing channel? And I guess the answer to that, well, and then the next line says Eggs Maker Muse, which I don't know what that means, but as far as collaboration, yes, right here. I mean, James and I already have a few things on the burner between the two of us, so that'll be a little collaboration there. But if you have other ideas or other channels, absolutely let us know. We're not uppity. We're not, walking around with our noses in the air. We love everybody. Tony says to rub yourself down with a little bit of glue stick before you roll in pennies. Glittery.
Hey, we don't have pennies in Canada anymore, so it's going to be nickel bath.
You guys don't have pennies at all anymore?
Obviously they didn't like collect them all and destroy them, but yeah, they got rid of them like 1.5 years, 2 years ago.
Wow, that's too bad they didn't collect them and get rid of them, because the couple that I have would have then been worth like almost 3/4 of an American penny. Justin said, Glenn, did you update your Prusa firmware to get the new Linear Advance? Yes, I did last night, and I've printed 0 since then. I've just been busy, but I am really excited to try that out. I printed JoelBot on my A8, and I wasn't a good expert on ABS, and the overhangs were bad, but no warping, so yay. Again, I've never printed ABS knowingly, and only because I understand that it puts out harsh chemicals or harsh fumes, and this is my office, and my office is hooked to my house, so I don't have an enclosure and that kind of stuff. So that's the only reason that I've not. But if you haven't tried PETG, I'm a huge fan of PETG. There's only one thing that I've ever printed in it that didn't turn out well, and that was a set of cable chains. It was just a little too flexible. So, oh, I think you meant etc. Maker's Muse. That's possible. I met Angus. We're tight. We spent like 15 minutes together. But I don't know if Angus would ever have time to collaborate with me. Tinkers, Keith is here, and he yelled pizza. I don't know why, but
I would.
Unless he's sending us one. Keith from Magic Goo wants to know if you've tried a tumbler for smoothing, which I have not.
I haven't tried it yet either. I've seen some of the videos of it online. It seems to work pretty cool. I think Barnacules used a tumbler to smooth some bronze fill, and that worked pretty well.
Interesting. Glenn tells Xander the news we talked about. Ooh, no, I don't think I want to tell him that. I think that I would rather just let it happen, and when it does happen, I'll make sure he's got a camera on his face. What does James think about ASA?
I haven't printed with it at all yet. It's one of those things that most of my prints have been in either PETG or PLA, and I haven't had anything big that needs the thermal properties for ASA yet. So, yeah, I don't have an opinion on it yet. It's one of those things I'll get around to giving it a shot. I'm looking at actually as my brother's got some projects for some parts that are going to be like somewhat close to an engine that he wants me to do some prototyping for. So, might give it a shot there.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't played with ASA either. I've been too busy playing with PLA and PETG. Anoop wants to know, can you show us some of your creations in your office? Are you talking about like things that we've printed? Yeah, let us. I mean, you can see, just kind of let us know what you want to see and all. Oh, I'm gonna have to pop this chat out. It is it's getting too big. I can't read fast enough.
I don't know how the guys that get like 1,000 or 2,000 viewers like keep up with it.
Moderators.
Yeah,
they have people picking stuff out for them. Keith Tinkers. Keith. I did not check my mail yet because my post office is so small that it has to be open to get to the P.O. boxes. So, like, you can't go in. There's not like a lobby where you go in and the P.O. boxes are there. The post office has to actually be open. So, but I will definitely check on Monday. So, and when I say I mean my wife will check on Monday because I don't go outside the house. There's people out there.
Lucky.
Tony says he's printing with PETG right now. I need to do a test print to see how to adjust to get supports to work. I don't know.
Yeah, supports PETG for me have always been trickier than the PLA ones.
I don't think I've ever printed anything in PETG with supports.
I printed some stuff for a friend, and he wanted one in PLA and one in PETG because he was going to put it on the outside of his car. And the supports were a nightmare. They left a lot of residue, and I had to sand them after the fact. So I don't know if I have to like basically increase the clearance beforehand, but it also was like more prone to stringing, obviously, because it doesn't cool as quickly as PLA. So
yeah, I actually didn't have any stringing issues until I went to this plated nozzle, and now all of a sudden I'm getting all kinds of stringing problems. It's like starting all over again.
Feels just like you're printing for the first time.
Right, exactly. Well, I had to recalibrate the whole entire printer. And by the way, don't ever take your nozzle to a power brush. Like I have a wire brush on one of my bench grinders, and I took the nozzle out there to clean it. It sealed the hole shut on it.
That would happen.
It melted the whole tip of it. It just sealed it off. So, but Racing Mouse 24 said, "Thanks, Glenn, for answering all my questions. I hit you with it this week. Hey, anytime. I try to answer all emails, all YouTube comments. I mean, I'm sure at some point we'll get too big for that, but until then, we'll do what we can." Hello from Arkansas. Ghost is yelling, "No, don't turn it off." But I'm not sure what we're. James, when you send me info, I'll Twitter my email to you. Food grade filament and conditioner. Oh, I see. Look at you, James, typing in the chat. You're supposed to talk to the people.
I didn't want to interrupt you. It's called being a polite Canadian, okay?
Oh, if you don't want to interrupt me, you're not going to say anything. I talk.
I've seen that, actually. Glenn's got a big personality, so.
Yeah, and for those of my 5,500 new followers that don't know, I'm introverted. Very much so.
I'm introverted everywhere on the internet.
When my phone rings, I cringe. I can't call people on the phone. I would rather just send an email or a text.
Oh, just to erase your ghost quickly. He wasn't talking about turning off the chat. He was talking about putting in its own window so you can keep track of it. I think, right? That's what you're after. Go
yeah,
turn off chat.
Yeah, when you're watching a YouTube video, you can click the cheeseburger menu and do a pop-out chat so it gets bigger. So yeah, no, I didn't turn it off. No, we're here for you guys. I mean, like James and I came into this knowing that we didn't really have anything to talk about. I mean, we could have figured stuff to talk about. You know, we could have figured it out had you guys not shown up. But it is much more fun.
This is like the Seinfeld of YouTube streams. It's the stream about nothing.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, but no, it is way more fun to talk to you guys. So, and it's fun that we have Magigoo in here representing. Hey Keith, I don't know if you've seen, but I've been promoting you pretty heavily on Facebook, and that's just out of the kindness of my heart because I like Magigoo and I like Keith. He's a nice guy.
I thought you hated Facebook.
I do hate Facebook, but I hate Facebook because of the negativity and the political crap, all of that. So I avoid Facebook, but I still go to like the A8 group and the CR10. I hang out in the CR10 group, even though I don't have one, and the Prusa group, you know, because if I can help people, that's what I'm looking to do. So
you're a wannabe CR10 expert.
Right. Well, I mean, if you know about one 3D printer, you know a lot about another one. You know, it's like once in a while there's stuff that comes up that I don't understand. I'm not a Bowden expert whatsoever because the only thing that I have that's Bowden is his Fab Mini. There.
You should print something huge on that, like one piece at a time, just to show that it can be done.
Yeah, print like a big Maker coin, like MakerBox did.
Xander, you can do like 50 Xander Things Thursday on which part of the Maker coin you printed this week. Yeah.
this week we printed quadrant.
You can see a little bit of an F in this one. The part of the letter F.
Yeah. So.
Have you heard back from Thomas yet? Since like, hopefully his head didn't explode with all the popularity.
No, you know, I don't even know if he knows. Like,
maybe he doesn't watch his subscriber count that much, and it's just gonna be like, oh, I have 100 views all of a sudden.
I don't. Let me see where he's at right now. But
he was past, I think 350 last time I checked him, but I think he was getting close to 400, maybe
425.
Oh, there you go.
So he's at 425. He was at 55. He was at 55 when I released the giveaway. So
when I started, because I tossed a couple of his videos up on Reddit, when I started trying to promote him a bit, he only had like 3 or 4 subscribers, and I was like, this kid deserves more. He's doing stuff. He's getting out there. Yeah.
Well, I found him through you. Like I was in one of your live streams or something, and he was in there, and that's how. I mean, I see Arduino, and I'm like, ooh, Arduino, and I went over and then found out he was doing Thing Thursdays or Thingiverse Thursday, which, you know, this one. So
funny is when you search him on YouTube, it still shows that he has 54 subscribers.
Well, maybe it just hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah.
So we're losing the chat here. We gotta catch up. I think. Oh, Racing Mouse 24. That's you, Ron. Okay. I hate when people have these screen names that I don't know. All right. So I think if the CR10 arrives before the A8, the A8 may stay in pieces for a while. No way. Build that A8. Even if you have the CR10 first, because it won't take long to build the CR10, build the A8. It is a fantastic experience, which you should know that the hardware is non-ferrous. It will not stick to a magnet, so don't bother with magnetic screwdrivers. Doesn't say that's why you're a tech guru, right, Glenn? I'm an introvert too. That's probably true. That's probably why I got into computers, because they're easier to talk to. Glenn and James, have you been following the Iron Lung?
I have not.
I have not either. I'm not even sure what that is.
Also, Go says that I was roasted. I must have missed something.
Yeah, I don't know either. Oh, you said you liked us better than him.
That's
I guess because we were talking about it, I said, you know, like we didn't really have anything to talk about. It was really all about the.
Oh yeah.
I'll admit that. James will admit that. I mean, what we do is useless without you guys. I mean, if there's nobody watching our stuff, why would we even bother to make it? So absolutely, we like you guys better than each other. Anoop wants to know cereal first or milk first. Are you kidding? Absolutely cereal first.
I feel like I should say milk first now just to be different, but no, you're nuts if you put milk first. Why do that?
Well, there is one exception to that.
If you're on your second bowl of cereal.
There you go. I've noticed in your videos, it looks like you have some sort of external keypad for changing camera views. Oh, Waldo, yes. Yes. Let me talk about it.
You guys have to follow him on Patreon because this thing's awesome. I have to build one. Let's
talk about the hot box. This guy right here, yes, it's huge and it has big buttons, but
very big.
It's very quick to hit the, and I can't show you tonight because I'm not using OBS. We're using Google Hangout, but this is technically nothing more than a programmable keyboard. So inside of OBS, which is the streaming software, if you don't know that, you can set up hotkeys for your different camera angles. And so I have it set up as alternate 1, alternate 2, alternate 3 to change the different scenes. Hotbox, you might want to read. Oh, I hate the name. I don't even know why I came up with it. But it says it in big blazing letters across the back. I don't know if you can see that, but
I thought of fun buttons, but you were like, no.
So all this is it's an Arduino that runs these buttons, and when you push it, it's like hitting an alternate 1, alternate 2, alternate 3, so that it can change your camera angles. And if you dig through our videos or go to our website, funking3d.com, there is actually all of the instructions to build one of these. The code is there, everything. We've done a series of, I think, 4 videos on this. But there is a new one coming that right now we are releasing slowly, but we're releasing it first to our patrons on Patreon.
On Patreon that are on Patreon.
Right. It's going to be an updated version of that. It's got better buttons. It is a little bit smaller. That's all I can tell you. Everything else is so. But thank you for asking about that, because it's a great project. I love it. It was fun to build.
Are the buttons on that 3D printed too? I haven't gone through all the details on it yet.
What's that?
Are the buttons on that 3D printed, or are they ones that you purchased?
No, I bought them through. I think I bought them through Amazon. They're
Amazon.
Arcade buttons. So, but they're very clicky when you push them. So, like, you can hear it when you're switching cameras. It's like.
I love using arcade buttons for stuff. This was actually something I was working on that I was going to send to Joel, and somebody invented a better one already. And this was a bot that it lights up when you turn it on. It's powered. I wrote the code through an Arduino, and it has an arm that attaches to the side that when you push the button, it would slap out a high five.
Nice.
But somebody actually just took the Joel bot design and modified it. Oh, and there's my cat. Modified it to actually be able to give high fives. I'm like, this is big and bulky now comparatively, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's still cool. It's still cool.
Is that Katniss?
No. Yes, our cat climbed all the way to Canada. All right, so
maple syrup.
Is the Creality CR10 better at printing modern art than an A8?
I think he means the ANET A8, or she means the ANET A8.
Well, it's Joe Bob, so I'm assuming that's a he. But
okay, I apologize. The name was cut off. I just saw the bottom end of the message beforehand. So,
well, my hang up on that, because like there's no one perfect printer that does everything. You know, I mean, obviously an A8 is a much smaller bed than a CR10, so you know for doing certain things. But I get really good quality prints out of my A8, but I'm not really sure as far as modern art. I mean, like this melted blob of PLA could be considered modern art.
The printer debate is always huge too, because it's like, how much are you willing to put into it in terms of effort and stuff when you get it? There's a lot of people that say, like the ANET's okay out of the box, but if you put in the time, you can get it to print really, really well. And then there's a lot of people that pick up the CR10 and like, it works great out of the box, but you can still tweak it to get better. So,
Well, it's no secret that, I got my A8 first, but when I got my Prusa, I was actually very disappointed in the Prusa because my A8 prints better or printed better. But once I took some time and got the Prusa tuned in, but I would still say they were printing pretty neck and neck. So, and I paid $160 for my A8 at the time and $700 for my Prusa. You know, it was like, really? But my Prusa is now my go-to. So
it's so pretty in orange. I think Meek is going to stay here for the rest of the live stream. She's very interested in what's going on.
That's completely acceptable. Is the Fun King head a button too? Oh, on the hot box? No, it is not. It's just printed and mounted. It's just but this little thing right here is actually a 4-position rotary switch. So this box is actually 4 of these. It has 12 inputs. There's only 10 buttons, but it has 12 inputs because my intentions are to add an external input so you can have a foot switch as well. But you can actually click this and have different programming for each position. So like which is my number 2 position, I have shortcuts set up for Rhino 3D. So when I'm modeling, I can hit it to do mirror and hit it to, so I don't have to type commands or click through menus. Justin asked, is that control board up on Thingiverse yet? If you're talking about the hot box, I don't think I put it on Thingiverse, but it is downloadable through our website. If that's what you're talking about, otherwise correct me.
It's kind of funny. One of the things I've been working on that I haven't finished is a box that does a similar thing. It's weird how often you and I have like similar ideas, except for mine's powered with a USB interface for like building a USB joystick for like main cabinets.
Right.
And I have software called Joy to Key that allows you to link joystick buttons to the keyboard to be able to do all this stuff. So it's pretty often you and I have very similar ideas from different like points of view.
Which is the fun part. That's why I like sharing my ideas with you because, you know, and that's why too with the scroller, and I know I keep talking about this and I haven't released the video on it yet, but for you guys that don't know, I'm going to release a base video of this, and then James and I are both going to kind of take off with it in our own directions to see where we go. And we've talked about it a little bit, but a little bit of hush hush just to see where each of us goes with it. So
yeah, we first started discussing it. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'd like to build one for myself. And then we started talking about where we'd go with it. And the next thing was the day we were talking, and I was like, I want to go this way with it. And he's like, well, I'm going to go with this way with it. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see the 2 videos come out.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be fun.
Sometime before 2020. That's what we're aiming for.
All right, let's see. What's the best bang for your buck printer kit? Ooh. I don't know if that's a question we can answer in our allotted time tonight either, but really tempted by the CR10 Mini, but a sub 200 kit would be better. Currently have a Monoprice Select Mini V2 and want more build volume. The CR10 Mini, isn't that just the CR10?
No, they released a smaller version of it that does like it's. Let me look up the build volume of it. I think it's closer to the A8. The designs, it like you can tell it's inspired by or similar to the CR10, but it's a smaller printer. They came up with something when they started making the bigger ones to satisfy people that didn't need that much space.
Well, see, and it's always a hard question to answer that because, I mean, I would say right now my best bang for the buck, best buck for the bang, whatever, would be an ANET A8 because I've already built one. I like it. I know how to tune it. It's super cheap right now, but the aluminum frame on the CR10 series is a huge plus to me. But
so the CR10 Mini has 300 by 220 by 300 build size.
So that's still pretty. That's still. I mean, it's bigger than the A8. It's still a pretty decent build size, but
it's weird. You don't see too many printers that have a rectangular build platform.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Mark. I don't know if we can actually answer that question. I mean,
it's a very open-ended question. Like,
yeah, it depends on your technical ability. It depends on, you know, if you're comfortable with wiring mains. I mean, that's always the biggest thing that I look at. I mean, if you're comfortable with electricity that swings it one way or the other, if you absolutely don't want to, wait, we just had some bad quality go on the stream, but yeah, if you're really not looking for, if you're not real technical and you don't want the really hands-on in building it, the CR10 series is definitely nice because it's a very quick and easy build, and that aluminum frame definitely is a plus. So
I actually did a video that showed I took my wife, who had no experience with any 3D printing stuff, and got her to build the CR10, and she had her first print off of it within 3 hours, like complete. So yeah,
there's I don't want to say too much. You already know, James, but there's a possibility that we may be getting a printer that's brand new to the market for review, and I'm going to do the same thing with Xander. I'm going to have Xander build it completely by himself, and I'll only sit here to like cheer him on.
Make sure he doesn't hurt himself, that type of stuff.
Right, make sure he doesn't hurt himself or so.
Have you experienced with your A8 any of the problems that people have talked about? There's some people that have reported like underpowered power supplies or insufficient wires going to the bed, that type of stuff.
No, when I built it, I swore that I would not modify it for at least the first 100 hours. I wanted to put at least 100 hours on it stock, which we did. We put well more than that onto it before I ever decided to go to the AM8 frame. But I did during assembly, I soldered the wires to the bed. That Molex connector that's on there is horrible. And I mean, just looking at it, if you know anything about electrical connectors, you'll know that it's not a good connector. So I did cut that off and solder it on. And somebody had made a comment on one of my videos on YouTube asking me why I soldered the middle two wires, which is the thermistor wire. And they're right. You wouldn't have had to. You can cut that connector and still. But at that point, why? I mean, you have a connector on the other side. Why worry about having a connector on the bedside? So, but no, my power supply has been fine. I metered it when I got it. I made sure that the voltage was set right on it, and it hasn't burst into flames, which has only ever happened one time that's on record. So I don't know. I think the worst that I've seen is people getting them without holes in the frame and stuff. Like, there was supposed to be 4 square holes and there's only 3, stupid stuff like that. But
somebody asked about woodworking in chat, and I can't find the message now.
That was Justin.
I've done a fair amount of woodworking in terms of name cabinets and stuff like that. So yeah, that was kind of my jam before I got into 3D printing. So it was more a subtractive process than an additive process, which I don't know. I like 3D printing better because you can spend a bunch of time designing and printing or whatever, and you see how it's going to look theoretically before you see it, in action.
And I do some woodworking as well. My dad was a handyman, carpenter, painter, my whole life, so I got that end of it. I actually built my house, like physically, hands-on, hammer in hand. Built my house. I mean, I know that's not woodworking, but I'm a very makey person. So I did all of the.
It survived the hurricane, so you must have done something right.
Yeah. Well, I said if this house ever blows away, it's going to go as one piece. It'll be totally Wizard of Oz. So there's so many hurricane straps in this house. So an email. Okay, I got it. Pass to James also. I don't even know if I have James's email address. We always communicate via Twitter.
You can email me at what is it? jcprintandplay@gmail.com.
Oh, now the whole world knows.
Oh, whatever. I have nothing attached to that, not even the channel, so. Let's see. What else do we have?
What do you think about the Degoma Neva? I'm not even sure what that is. I mean, I assume it's a printer, but.
Let's see. The PrinterBot series. My first printer was a PrinterBot Simple Metal, and I really liked it. It was really easy to get going. I bought it assembled, which I kind of regretted, to be honest. A lot of people said it was like super intimidating to build, but having had to have like pulled it apart and put it back together a couple of times, I think I probably could have handled the kit and saved the $200 or whatever it was.
I was given a printer bot Smalls once.
Oh, that's you got that from
Ryan.
18, yeah, Ryan.
Technology Nerd 18. Yeah, he boxed it up and shipped it to me, and he sent that and a care package. The care package arrived. The printer is still lost. FedEx lost it. So sad.
You have another printer from coming from him too that you won, eh?
Yeah, it was supposed to be delivered yesterday to my office, but there was nobody there to receive it. So,
are you gonna do a review on it with the modifications he's put into it?
I don't really know. I gotta be honest. I only entered the competition to support him. I didn't really expect to win. I have to stop entering competitions that I don't intend to win. Anycubic Castle is an amazing deal, but not very beginner friendly. Anycubic i3 Mega is amazing for beginners because of manual and its print quality. I've been eyeballing an Anycubic i3. I think it would be a neat printer to own. It's so hard. I mean, how many printers can you own? You know, I mean, I know like Joel has bazillions, but I guess Angus Maker's Muse admitted the other night on live feed too that he's got like 33 printers sitting in a storage shed just because he doesn't have any room for them.
I think I've got 4 right now, and then if the Obsidian ever shows up, I've got that one coming. So I don't have plans for any other ones. I do want to get one that's Core XY driven, that's like larger base, but yeah.
Well, that's my goal right now, is to get something that's a larger format, so that it's still the big project in my head is I want a full Iron Man suit that I can put on and walk around in. You know, like go to Target and stuff wearing Iron Man armor. So. And I know I could print it smaller and put it together, but what fun is that?
Racing Mouse asked if I build my MAME cabinets using a Raspberry Pi. I've built some like retro game consoles using Raspberry Pi and the Orange Pi, but all of my MAME cabinets so far have been built using a PC as their core. I was using Hyperspin as the front end, and obviously it needs to be on PC, but now that they've got some nicer front ends, I'm actually got a project that I'm working on for a 3D printed MAME cabinet that runs on a Pi, and that's going to be popping up in the channel in the next month or so. I'll be doing an unveil at some point in the next week or two to show the design and see what people think, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about that.
Glenn's been having to endure like 5 million messages from me on Twitter as I make design revisions and stuff to see what he thinks.
Well, and it was funny because I showed it to Xander, and Xander was kind of like, And then I explained to him like really what it was, and he was like, "Oh, you can play games on that." I guess because we print everything so small, you know, it's like, what am I going to do with that tiny little thing?
But you need to get yourself a CR10 or something that can print that big, and then yeah.
Well, if all goes according to plan, that'll be happening very soon. I mean, as soon as China can happen. Everything from China is slow, whether you have it shipped in or you're just waiting on an email. It's slow. Neva is a Delta printer. I don't own a Delta yet. I have the Simple Metal at my school. Oh, Justin asked, have you tried mixing woodworking with 3D printing yet? I have not. I have not done a lot of woodworking lately.
I've done some shelves and stuff like that where I printed the brackets to hold stuff using 3D printing, but nothing too crazy.
Justin asked, Glenn won a contest for that printer, right? Yes, I actually won that through Technology Nerd 18's channel. The MP Select Mini, which that's what it was, right? The MP Select Mini.
Yeah.
I think that I have a plan for that printer. I'm going to get it here. I'm going to run through it. I'm going to make sure that it's right. And then I think I have a home for it. I haven't totally decided yet. So, but And I don't know how Ryan will feel about that, you know, me winning it from him, but I guess once it's mine, I can do whatever I want with it. But I think I know a place that it needs to go. So
he didn't make any stipulations that you get to win it, but it has to live with you for the rest of your life.
Right. Yeah. He didn't say that. So, and I mean, at this point, as excited as he was about that plexiglass with all the signatures on it, I could probably get away with whatever I want to. So.
Yeah, where's my piece of plexiglass? That was rude.
Hey, you got a video high five.
That's true. And then I broke a monitor over it.
Amy Lawson said, I'm subscribed to lots 3D printing channels and want a printer so bad, but I can't even get one until I'm out of college and out of dorms in 2 years. Well, no. I mean, there are some small printers, but I understand dorm living is hard. But that's not bad, Amy. I think you're doing right, because I actually researched 3D printers for probably 4, maybe 5 years before I finally took the plunge. So I mean, stick with it, and maybe by the time you're ready, they'll be, you know, even better than they already are. I mean, the technology now is moving so fast, even though they don't move fast. You know, they're pretty slow, but I'm buying a raised 3D printer to build an Iron Man suit. Yeah, I should have gotten CME CNC to print that on the parts, Daddy, before they retired it. They could have just done it in one shot. I could have got right in it. Or they could have just printed right around me.
You don't mind standing still for about 7 days, 8 days?
That thing printed pretty fast, actually. So, I mean, I don't remember what...
Garbage can, or using a shop vac to feed itself, right?
Yeah, well, it doesn't use filament. It used the granules, plastic granules. It was crazy. That thing was crazy. So, what? The printer's not staying with you? No, Justin. I really think that it needs to go to a different home. So, like I said, I haven't decided yet. I'll get it here and I'll see how good it is, what it'll do. I mean, if it's not a good printer, I'm not going to pass it on, because I don't want to send trouble to somebody else. But we'll see. We'll see. Have you used or plan to use flexible filament or resin? Yes. I haven't used flexible yet, but I actually have a roll coming from Polymaker. They're going to send me a roll of Polyflex, because somebody asked me in the comments of one of my videos if I had tried Polyflex yet, and I love Polymaker's filament. So I had mentioned to them that I was looking for some, and they said, oh, we'll send you a roll. So soon, that will be on the channel as well. Game Critic wants you to look up the Neva and tell me if it's it's moving. It's a good intermediate printer.
So I've seen videos on it, and the specs on it look like they're pretty decent. Joel actually did a review on it and went through the stuff like and it's got a filament sensor, which is nice. He had trouble getting it to work consistently, I think, though. The print quality off of it looked like it was pretty good, though. I think for the price point, it's not too bad, but it is lacking a few things. I believe it has to be tethered to print. And that one button control is a little weird. So there's a bit of a learning curve. So I don't know if it's the way I go for a Delta, but I mean, if it fits within the price range and you're set on having a Delta for, you know, the quality of a Delta printer, then yeah, I think it's all right.
Yeah, Ritual said Dogma Neva is a Delta printer that has to be tethered to print. It has no screen, and the printer only has one button to control it. So I remember once you said that, I remember watching Joel's video about that. What's even funnier is Ron, Racing Mouse 24, said, Glenn, Barnacules has that full-size Stormtrooper armor, but made him look like Big Hero 6.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's baller. Jerry is a hard guy. Like, when I first started watching him, I was like, oh, I didn't really know what to think about him, but he's hysterical. He is so funny.
He grows on you like a fungus.
Rover says, I have a list of 3D printers / filament contests. Yes, he does. He sends them to me all the time, and I appreciate it. Harley says, Shannon says hi. Hello, Shannon. I don't know why Shannon didn't say hi, but hi, Shannon.
You know so many people, Glenn.
Yeah, well, they're friends of mine. They're local. Printed Solid had amazing Black Friday sales on Polymaker. Yes, they did. I bought absolutely nothing on Black Friday 3D printing related, as much as I hate to admit that.
I live in Canada, so a lot of the stuff in Canada isn't as good.
Yeah, well,
paying for things with $2 doesn't work so well.
This time of year, I buy Christmas lights and Christmas presents. So, like, I really try not to buy a lot of stuff for myself. I do that the rest of the year.
Glenn looks like he wants 3D printing stuff for Christmas, so there you go. There's a loophole. That's right, Xander. I said Glenn, didn't I? Lose the joke.
So what all filaments have you tried from Polymaker? So far, the only thing that I've tried is the Poly Light. Again, the Polyflex is coming. They do sell a nice little like sample pack through Amazon for about $15 that has like the Polymax and a bunch of stuff in it. So I'm going to pick up one of those to play around with. But I've been real happy with the Poly Light. And it was funny because the first roll of that they sent was, for review. They sent it to me. And so I burned through probably, 7/8 of the roll. And then it was like, all I had was all this stuff in gray, and it was like boring gray. And it was like, wow, I used up the whole roll for this. But, I mean, that was part of the deal. So, but they did say that more colors are coming in Polylite. So, you mentioned building your house yourself. I'm working on a kitchen remodel as I'm watching this. Very cool. Not getting much done tonight, honestly. I have that same problem with the live feeds. When I do a project at the same time I'm doing a live feed, I get 0 done on the project. So, because I'm too busy talking with everybody, but that's really what it's all about, I think. So, if anyone wants a copy of 3D printer / filament contest, send me an email. That's awesome. Thank you, Rover.
Service 100%.
What's that?
That's doing the community a service 100%, keeping everybody up to date on how to get free stuff.
Absolutely. And anybody that, like, if you reach out to Rover and he sends you the list, if there is the links, where you can refer people, please be kind and use his link instead of your own. Being that he is doing most of the legwork in finding these contests.
Game Critic asked, doesn't it use an SD card? He is correct. It actually can take an SD card and print G-code from there for the Neva. So, yeah, it doesn't need to be tethered. I was incorrect.
Justin, I have not printed the Polymax PLA in the Maker box. I don't know if that was this week's. I just got my Maker box today. It was a little bit late. But I think that was last week that had the Polymax. But it's really been a crazy week for me. It's been very, very little to do with 3D printing and mostly to do about Christmas lights.
Racing Mouse wants to know if with the AM8 upgrade, could you build it bigger with longer extrusion pieces? And yeah, you can make it taller for sure if you increase the extrusion pieces plus the lead screws and stuff. Not a problem. You want to make it wider or longer, you have to replace the bed, obviously. But
absolutely.
Ron that took which printer did he take? And he made it like super tall.
That's the CR10. He put 1,000 millimeter,
yeah,
or 1,000 centimeter uprights on it.
Yeah, it's a meter tall, so it prints like 3 feet tall now.
Yeah,
I think it's capped it out at just over 2.5 feet just to be safe. But yeah, it's the crazy thing with these designs. And the CR10 is exceptionally easy to do that with because it rides the roller. So as long as you can extend the wires, you can go definitely.
Yeah, with the AM8, you're still on smooth rod, which when you start to get over a certain length of smooth rod, you're going to get flex in it. So Even on your Z-axis, you start to get them too long, and as your X is moving, those rods are going to start to flex. So if you got too big, you'd want to go to like a 10 millimeter rod. Same with the bed. You got the weight of the bed. So if you start to get too big, then you're going to have other issues. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, my second 3D printer was actually, I ordered all the parts from China. I'm like, I know better than the people that engineered this. So I was like, I ordered a 12 by 12 bed. And this was before the CR10 was actually a thing. And then I ordered a bunch of 500 millimeter smooth rods that were 8 millimeters in diameter. And I got it up and running and printing, but there was so much movement and stuff that, like, if I was printing something like, when Joel did the world's largest like My Little Pony thing or whatever, I printed the world's smallest one on it. If I was printing something that had like a lot of curves and stuff, it didn't showcase any of the actual issues because it was kind of like more forgiving. But as soon as I tried to print anything that had to be precise, it was absolutely terrible.
I looked at going with a taller Z on mine, but then I looked into it. By the time I bought the lead screws and the smooth rod, I could have bought a whole nother printer. So like I was already investing too much. So
you should actually. I've been kind of tempted to take a shot at building the what's it called, the hang printer.
Oh yeah.
That thing uses like fishing line, and you anchor it to your ceiling, and you put your platform out, and it basically retracts or expands the fishing line, and then can raise itself up. So it's limited only to the amount of fishing line you put on it and the space that you have to print with. It's not super high quality, but if you're building, it's kind of like a poor man's Parts Daddy, really.
That's pretty cool, yeah. Justin wants to know if I'll do the AM8 upgrade to your A8. I actually already am. It's I don't know if I can pick it up. I'm using it as a lamp stand right now. Let me tell you what, these things get heavy after a while.
Oh, it's looking good.
So it's coming along. It's the right color, that's for sure. I didn't do it exactly like the manual. Like I downloaded it off of Thingiverse and stuff, and I went looking for other parts. Some of the parts I designed myself, like the belt holders and stuff. I don't know. It's there, but it isn't there. So, but it'll be cool when it's done. I just got to get it done. I've been filming the whole process, and that's what takes so long. For people who don't make content, they don't realize that to do an hour task, filming is like 3 to 4 hours, and then you still have to edit it afterwards. So everything takes longer. And it's like, I keep saying to people, oh, I'm doing my AM8 upgrade for 3 months now. So Rover says he'd like to get the CR10-5. Absolutely, that thing would be awesome, but it is way overpriced, I think, for what it is. Since Xander has Thing Thursday, you can make Zach's monthly Maker Box reveal. Yeah, Zach loves to do the Maker Box, and don't tell him. Don't let him in on this, but I am actually thinking about doing a once-a-month thing with him opposite the Maker Box. So it would be like the middle of the month, where I literally just print something out, hand it to him, and let him talk about it.
I talked about that a while ago, right?
Yeah. That's when you came up with the Zach-tacular name, which
Zach-tacular Tuesdays. Yeah, there we go.
Well, I think we're just going to go with Fun King 3D presents Zach-tacular. But he really likes those toy videos, and if I had more free time, I would make those toy videos with him. So this, I think, kind of will be kind of a crossover of those two things. Don't anybody steal this idea. It's mine.
Because they names their kid Zach, steals Zach-tacular.
Well, we have Thomas stealing Thingiverse Thursday. No, it's awesome.
Last video, he's getting so organized with all his stuff. He's got his little cheat sheet for his Thingiverse Thursdays and his projects he's going to be doing.
Yeah, yeah. His cue sheet.
Getting fancy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think it's just funny because he does a better job this other. Oh, if you guys just knew the amount of headaches that we go through behind the scenes. I'm really tempted to do one live one time, but I don't think anybody wants to sit around for 4 hours and watch it.
Is that like Xander's the Facebook and or Xander's the MySpace and Thomas is the Facebook?
Something like that, yeah. He doesn't get that, but yeah. No, I mean, he's doing better. Like now that we're moved away from the script, and we're getting a lot of good feedback that it's getting better. That the script was not good. Our camera has to be mounted. It's mounted like about 6 or 8 inches above my monitor and behind it, because I need a wide enough angle to get both of us in. So when he's reading, I mean, much like I am tonight, like I'm watching the screen because I'm looking at you, James, but he doesn't look at the people. He's not. And I actually have a Post-it note stuck to my camera with a smiley face on it that says Booger Eater, so that I can say to the kids, look at Booger Eater, and it'll make them laugh, and they'll look at the camera at the same time. So, and Zach does refer to it as Booger Eater. But every once in a while, I'll say something to Xander, and it'll give him the giggles, and then it's impossible to film after that. So,
well, then you get all that sweet blooper reel, though.
Oh, I have. I couldn't even tell you how many minutes of blooper reel I have. It's so hard to pick the best one.
It's funny. There's a buddy of mine. I don't know if you've met him. He goes by JT. He's got a JT Flash Ray, I think is his channel. A long time ago, he did this thing where he built a system that it's like a glass screen that goes over top of his camera at a 45-degree angle, and it basically teleprompts. But the teleprompting goes, you can't see it in the video, but it scrolls up over top of the camera, so you have to look at the camera while you're reading it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's just reflective. So I think a lot of the ones that you can build run on you have your cell phone with the teleprompter software loaded underneath it, and it scrolls up and it reflects off the glass. And the camera doesn't pick up the reflection on the glass, but you can see it.
Yeah, that's cool, but I don't want him to have the crutch anymore.
No, he's doing good without it. I was just saying it was a cool project.
So, but I mean, even like when we're goofing around and we're like, all right, well, like when you come in and say this, you can always tell that he's practiced it in his head so many times that it's not genuine anymore. So, and he's on TV at school. He's on the school's TV, and he tells the joke, and he's like, and now here's the joke of the day, blah blah blah, blah. Like almost robotic. Yes, I'm going to talk bad about you. So I want to get him out of that. I want to get him free flowing more. And then the other problem is he doesn't talk enough, and if I shut up long enough for him to talk, he stammers and stalls, and there's dead air, and you can't have dead air. So then I end up picking up and talking for him again. So we're just like Penn and Teller, It's
I think my favorite so far is the comment about Joelbot's butt.
Weird butt. Why would I say something about his weird butt?
Yes. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah. Oh, I set him up so much, like as many times as I can. The one where he did the makey, and he kept talking about this one sits, and so like I made him do another take. I'm like, do it one more time, and he's like, oh, I'm like, dude, just do it one more time. I need just like one more take. And so then I come screaming, he did what? Like he had no idea I was going to do that because I wanted a genuine reaction out of him. So, and then the first time I yelled at him, do you think Sean puts up with this crap from Joel? Like it's.
I feel like Xander's smiling over there, but secretly under the table, he just keeps kicking you every time you say something.
He is actually. You're spot on. He's kicking me in the feet. So I have a nice footstool under my desk for me to put my legs on, so we have our feet up and we're all set up. So I'm gonna run through chat real quick. Xander looks like he's about to pass out. Give him some caffeine. No, because then he won't go to sleep. Patent pending. Taco Tuesday. I don't know where that came from. Why does tacos always come up in every live stream? Now I'll get off and I'll be like, I'll just be like, God, I gotta have tacos now. That young man has improved a lot. See that?
I still wasn't able to open this.
I'll make James sing a song or tell a joke, and I'll mute it so you can open that.
Okay.
I have seen you get Xander cracking up even with your editing. Oh, yes, absolutely. There was one day, I got to tell this story. There was one time he talks when he's doing a Xander's thing Thursday, he talks very fast. I printed this at 205 degrees with a 60-degree bed and a 0.2 layer height. Instead of saying, I printed this at 205 degrees, like he runs through stop signs. I mean, periods. So I always say to him, stop sign or periods are like stop signs. So one day I said to him, I want you to, when you get to a period or a comma, I want you to, in your brain, go 1,000 and then continue speaking. But the problem was he was reading everything. So he would get to the period and you'd 1,000 and then his brain would have to process what's coming up before he'd start. So it was really like 1,000 before he would get going. And I'm like, all right, that doesn't work. So then I said, every time you get to the period, say the word jerk. And he's like, what? And I'm like, so today I printed this at 205 degrees. Jerk. It was a 60-degree bed temperature. Jerk. And he was laughing so hard that he was having to pop himself in the arm with a rubber band so that he would get rid of the giggles. So, I mean, we do have a good time doing it. There are times that I just melt because I'll say to him, like, are you ready? And I know if you go back and watch some of his earlier ones, you can tell by the end of the video that he's just spent. So we have to do it like on a Saturday morning. Oh, I just let that secret out. We don't really do it on Thursday. Sometimes they're scheduled 2 weeks in advance, but it has to be like first thing in the morning. Otherwise, he's just exhausted. And then
you're doing better than me. Sometimes I'm shooting Make a Model Monday at like 11:50. I'm like, technically, if I finish filming on Monday, it counts.
No, we have to do it. We have to do it ahead of time. I make him. I was making him pick his thing on Sundays and then getting it printed and stuff. So that we could shoot, because it does take us, for that 2 to 7 minute video, it takes us about 2 hours worth of video time. And then the editing. And I'm not new to Premiere, but I'm new enough to Premiere where I'm still trying to really learn some things and new editing techniques and stuff. And that's why every once in a while you'll see something like completely different in there just because I'm trying stuff.
We got a dislike.
Who thumbs down our live feed? That wasn't very nice.
It was obviously and the person's probably now disconnected, so it doesn't count.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep on my huge pillow.
Oh, we got a like. Okay, we're good.
I may or may not have clicked the like button myself just to offset it.
Oh, you have to click the like button.
Now there's 2 dislikes. What the?
Oh, now 2 people dislike us because we're talking about dislike buttons. Okay, now we're back to 1.
It shows 4 dislikes on my side.
What, 4? Oh my gosh, you guys are killing us.
3.
Now it shows 2 with 16 likes. So, just what's Joel say? We'll call it good.
Yeah. Well, like when we first started, and he would get even before the Xander thing Thursday, and we would get a thumbs down on one of our videos, he'd really take it personally. And I'm like, dude, you can't take it personally. You can't please all the people. And I said, not only that, you can't control the trolls. There's trolls out there. So if you worry about it and you tell people, oh, please don't give me thumbs, letting them rent space in your brain is the worst thing you can do. You're just feeding them. So, I mean, we actually encourage people, if you don't like our video, leave a thumbs down. I don't care. What I want people to do is step up. And if you do thumbs down one of my videos, seriously, to leave a comment and tell me why, like, do you not like my face? Like whatever. I don't care, whatever it is.
Wait, I can thumbs down if I don't like your face. Hold on a second.
Absolutely. But you have to leave me a comment and tell me you don't like my face. The thing is like, you can't change everything you do because one guy said, hey, I don't like the fact that he eats graham crackers on camera.
I haven't been able to eat this.
But it's like you can't change everything you do because of that. But if enough people say, hey, you have too much junk behind you, it's distracting, then you see it enough times, you're like, hey, maybe I should fix that. So you know, whatever. And if you don't like my junk behind me, it's too bad. I actually work back there. So the new studio is not going to have all of that. We're actually just going to have bookshelves behind us with things that we've printed and things that other people have printed and sent us. So
Flynn's face is only okay. Thumbs down. Xander is awesome. Thumbs up.
Those two cancel each other out. So I think it is funny that your hair will be way longer in back-to-back videos. I don't know if you're talking about me. My hair doesn't get much longer than this. You must be talking about this guy. I made him get a haircut today because his hair was so crazy long. So,
now James, sing
your
a
left
song.
ear is 2 microns lower than the right. Oh, now I have to think about that, huh? He joking. Wear a hat. The glare is blinding.
Account for that.
Yeah, good thing I'm not self-conscious, huh? I think your stuff looks pretty good. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. But it's. I mean, I always joke around and say that this is movie magic, but it really isn't. I really do work in this space. Magic. This is where I sit. Is actually my office. This is where I work my full-time job. So this table right here is just temporary. It just sits here for shooting. Otherwise you can see my crotchal region. So we put this here to have a little bit more space. But I have a mother-in-law apartment here on the property where my mother-in-law lived until she moved back south. And now my mom is living in it temporary until her new house is done. Once she's out of there, we're actually going to convert that into a dedicated studio space.
Yeah.
Which will be really exciting. So
now, James, sing a song so I can open this.
All right, James, talk so he can open his graham crackers.
I was actually going to say, for you guys who haven't checked out Chris Mitchell, I was taking a look. He commented on one of my videos. He's building, I'm assuming it's the same Chris Mitchell, a mostly 3D printed pinball cabinet that actually uses like solenoids and stuff for the flippers. That's something I've been like wanting to tackle for a while, and he's doing a pretty bang up job. So you should probably go check it out if you're at all into pinball. And Chris can tell me in chat if it's the same one, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I just pulled his channel. It is. And we're gonna do him a little justice here. I like Sharon. You know, I know that like as you get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, it gets really hard with people trying to self-promote and stuff. I know he wasn't promoting, you were promoting him, but yeah. You know, I want to share the love. I only am where I am because Joel shared the love with me, and now James, you're only where you are because I shared the love with you.
Yes, all my success is now actually Glenn's success. It's okay.
I now own your channel.
When the giveaway's over and I lose half my subscribers, that's his fault too. So I can,
yeah, but then you still have more than what you started with, so it's still a win.
Unless I end up with less than before, it's like, well, Glenn, you ruined me. Thanks a lot.
End up back at like 10. They take your registered name away.
Great. Now I'm 25 random characters stacked after YouTube. I think I'd probably just quit.
Yours too, Glenn. It goes from crew cut length to gone. And that is true. My hair does. It starts to get. If I wake up in the morning and it looks like I just got up in the morning, I go give myself a haircut. That's pretty much how I run it. And I cut it down to 1/8 inch. I just like, yeah.
I got some people that messaged me because I released a video that I had filmed sometime during the summer. And so I went from like this beard length back to like just trimmed down and then back like to this in the next video. And so it was like, I'm like, no, I specified like it's an old video. I was just sitting on it to release it. And so.
Well, that's kind of the hang up that it happens. But so I was watching and I don't even remember what video it was that I pulled up, but it was done back in July. Now, again, I've only been doing this since the end of May, but it was in July and he looks so small. Like he looks just like this little kid. I'm like, what happened? Like you just like sprouted up and got all gangly over the summer.
Stop doing that.
Because you were eating graham crackers. And back the next day, if I do a YouTube channel, I'm a cross between Zim and James at Print and Play. Hey, that's all good. You want to do a YouTube channel? Do a YouTube channel. Don't even worry. Like,
YouTube's one of those interesting things where it's like, because like you don't have to compete with other people for YouTube, because if you want to subscribe to 1,000 channels, you can subscribe to 1,000 channels. You're not like taking business away one or the other. So it's the kind of thing like, yeah, it can become oversaturated, but if you've got a unique idea or whatever you want to get into, then by all means go nuts. It doesn't cost you anything but time and, you know, the way too much money you spend on the equipment that you didn't really need.
Yeah, or the wrong equipment, you know.
Dad,
The camera.
you're so bald that I can see what's on your mind.
You are so bald that I can see what's on your mind.
Oh,
actually, at this point, you should only be able to see my ceiling fan.
is that what that spinning is?
What's that?
That's what the spinning is on your forehead.
Yes, it's the pulsating. No, but I was gonna say with the whole YouTube, starting a YouTube channel, like, when we decided to do this, it was Nillabean's fault, which I don't know if you guys know who Nillabean is.
Sorry.
He's kind of gone AWOL. He opened up a gaming store, a local game shop, and so his 3D printing channel has
Stagnated.
It's been kind of backburnered, but it was because of him that I started this. I liked the way that he did it, and so I thought, I could do that too. But when Xander and I used 10 at the time, but I'm working with a kid, and a kid who says not necessarily inappropriate things, but things that you shouldn't say, and then I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, oh, we can't do that, and it has to be professional, and then I realized that that's really stupid, and I'm just going to be me, and people are going to either like me or not like me, and I don't care one way or the other. I mean, like, I want people to like my channel because I want to know that I'm giving out the right information, but like, I'm goofy. That's all there is to it. I love dad jokes and stuff, So yeah, if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just do it. Just make a bunch of videos. Don't worry about the fact that nobody is subscribed. I don't have any subscribers, and like Keith just said in the comments in the chat, that everybody always fights for that first 100 subscribers, and absolutely, because then you can lock your name in, and you don't have to have that big long channel name. But even from there, it's just fun. It's fun to hit 100, and then it's fun to hit 250, and then 500, and 1,000. I missed all that. I don't really know what that's like. I'm just assuming it would be fun to see when you hit a 500 or 1,000.
Hit the warp zone, skip right to the end of the game.
Yeah. I guess I used a cheat code and went from 347 to 5,500.
We're not YouTubing properly though. You haven't used the phrase "smash the like button" yet. Apparently that's part of the YouTube culture. So you guys say "smash the like."
Yeah.
Everybody smash the like button
With your face.
We get 100,000 likes on this video, then Xander's gonna shave his head.
What?
No, I did actually make him. I made him eat a lemon. I think it was for the 100 subscribers. I made him eat a lemon as a thank you, and then I never used it. I did film it, but I never used it. So I might pull that up and throw it in somewhere just for fun. But
I started filming my thanks for 250 subscriber thing, and I was like, if I hit 1,000 before the end of the year, I'm going to shave my head. I'm glad I didn't release it.
Yeah, because you can hit 1,000 by next week.
I had my beard. I look like I'm 12. Like, I look younger than Xander without my beard.
Oh,
my
that's
face
funny.
stops right here.
Ron asked Glenn, what is the next sub milestone? 10K. Yeah, it would be at this point. It would be 10,000. I know like some people do, like Joe Mike just did a 6,000 giveaway and stuff. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to like pull a 7,500 unless a vendor reaches out to me. For this 5,000 giveaway, I reached out to. Well, in fact, everybody I reached out to came through for us. The generosity in this community is so humbling. It just blows my mind. And it was so much fun to reach out to AIO Robotics and say, hey, you guys were so awesome, and you and you sponsored us for our 250 sub giveaway 2 months ago. Would you like to sponsor us for our 5,000 giveaway? Here just 2 months later. So it was fun, but I mean, everybody really stepped up, and I'm not going to say any one company was better than the other, but like Printed Solid, huge shout out to Printed Solid, because they don't typically ship out of the country, but Matt said, absolutely, for giveaways, I will ship internationally. And then other than GearBest, nobody else stepped up at first. Matter Hackers did come through and offer to ship internationally as well, but nobody else had stepped up. So I reached out to Matt and I said, listen, you're the only one that was going to ship international. I feel bad about it. I still put you on the international giveaway, but I'll pay the shipping. You just let me know whatever it costs to ship. I'll pay the shipping, and he won't let me. He's awesome. But I mean, everybody really stepped up and offered. And then what really blew me away was Filament One. I reached out to Filament One because of it's just amazing filament. I mean, the color options and stuff through Filamentum and stuff is really cool. And I asked him, and and of course it wasn't in person. It was via text messages or direct messages on Twitter. But like, he was thanking me for reaching out to him. It was like, thank you for letting me help you. And then, he's like, well, what would you like? And I'm like, well, what would you offer? I'm not going to be like, well, you have to give me this. You're giving me stuff, like, it just really felt, it felt weird. Like, I don't know how other people do it, but, I'm very humble when it comes to that stuff. And like, even in my emails going out to them, it's like, if you don't want to, it's okay. I won't have any hard feelings. I'm not going to say anything mean about you because you wouldn't. It's just like, whatever. But everybody was awesome. Everybody was awesome. So,
no hair, shiny hair. My eyes are burning.
Keith Nillabine is not local to me. He's local. Well, I guess you're up that way, aren't you? Yeah, he's got it's and now I forget. It's Golden Goblin, the Golden Goblin, and he is local in his hometown.
We missed a question from Lee Shell, I think.
How far back?
Right before the one, or a couple of. Wants to know what our opinion is on the new ANET E12 versus the CR10.
Why'd you have to bring up the E12? The E12 is actually what GearBest is talking about sending me. They claim that they don't have any in stock yet, and as soon as they have one in stock, they will send it my way. And I'm super excited because I like my A8. I did originally ask them for a CR10. I actually asked them for a CR10 in large, but they said that they would rather send me the E12 being that it's a new printer. And when I went out looking, there wasn't a lot of information out there yet. So I'm really excited to get it, and I'm hoping that they send it to me right away so that I can be one of the first people to talk about it. So I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other because I've intentionally not watched other people's reviews or read up on it so that my review is pure. So
point your head at a solar panel so solar panel power would be more efficient.
Wow, the bald jokes are getting harsh around here. Woo! It's all right. I've been bald for a long time. I can take it. Rover says, if I do a channel, it'll be computer tech / giveaway info / 3D print. That's good. I mean, that's all good stuff to be putting out there. Keep having fun. Absolutely. Blame Joel. Yeah, I do blame Joel. I actually sent him a message and I said, you do realize that you destroyed my Saturday schedule. 200 to 5,000 in what, 3 weeks? No, it was 347 to 5,000 in under 2 weeks. His contest ends today. It was a 2-week contest. It ends today. It might have already ended now. But yeah, we jumped 5,000 or 5,200 subscribers in 14 days. So
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that his competition has ended.
Why are you losing subscribers? Oh wait, no, that would be me.
Yeah, you went down one. Sorry, buddy.
I lost somebody. Oh, it's been a roller coaster through the whole
You gotta
thing.
stop being so controversial with these live streams.
I I did the math on it today. Like I went and I looked at how many people had entered the contest based on, 5, because you had to subscribe to those 5 channels.
Yeah.
So I divided it by 5, and it was only about 112 people that would have entered that then unsubbed. So that isn't bad. So, and some of those people, I might have been the reason that they unsubbed. I don't know, It might have been.
Why did you do it?
It might have been Xander's Thing Thursday that they just said, "I'm not watching this garbage."
Because it's fun.
Hey, Ryan runs Technology Nerd 18, which has got to be like probably the most dedicated YouTube channel I've ever seen.
Ryan, hey brother,
You gotta stop roasting him. He's here now.
Yeah, I gotta stop talking bad about him. The E12, the ANET E12 has the same mechanics as the E10, so needs upgrades maybe. Oh, that's not good news. Please stop talking about the E12. I don't want any outside influence.
Why don't you fly into space and replace the sun with your bald head and a flashlight?
It would have to be a pretty good flashlight. So.
I saw a video where a guy got a 500-watt LED and he walks outside with it and it like lights up the entire backyard, like ridiculous. It was I think it was a $500 LED, and like the cooling thing for it is like 5 times the size of a cooler for a like modern day CPU.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I had to wire 2 200-watt power supplies together to get it to run, I think.
You'd be toting a cord around. Ryan said we need all to do a collab some live stream. Yeah, we can arrange that.
You just got to get on the Google Hangouts, buddy. That's the magic that holds the stuff together. It's Google, other Google.
Yeah, this stream has already gone 40 minutes longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah, I promised my wife. Oh yeah, it's just going to be an hour plus however much extra.
Well, see, I told my wife that I was planning from 9 to 10. That way, when it was actually over, it would be about 11.
Yeah, that's right. Xander, you look tired. I think it's past your bedtime, buddy.
And after Xander goes to bed, Google YouTube Scotsman song. Is that the Kilt? The Blue Ribbon song? I think I know the song you're talking about. It's not for you.
Not safe for Xander. NSFX.
I'm sorry, I can't do it to you. You're bald.
Yeah, that's a fantastic song. There's a couple of other covers of that song that were pretty good too. So I'm a big Spotify guy. I love Spotify, and when I find a song on Spotify I like, I go out and try to find every other version of it because there's usually a cover that's better than the original. So
soon, I will start a gaming channel.
Yeah, Xander does want to start a gaming channel.
It feels weird saying that.
Can I? I own SpazMonkey.com. SpazMonkey used to be a crude humor site. Is really what it was. It was an alter ego of mine, and it was completely anonymous. Like it didn't have me tied directly to it, and I could say whatever I wanted to. And I was a different person back then. This was 20 years ago at least.
You might have had your hair back then.
And no, still didn't have hair back then. And so I've had SpazMonkey.com for all these years, and I'm trying to convince Xander to take that as a name, SpazMonkey, and he won't do it.
I think that's perfect.
He's like, I don't want that. I'm like, it's a great name.
Did you buy the domain peg like that?
No,
why?
Because you don't remind me of things. So, but yeah, Xander does want to start a gaming channel. The problem is the games Xander plays. I don't think anybody will want to watch him play it. He just plays like Roblox and Minecraft.
Gang Beasts.
And well, now Gang Beasts.
Especially if you're having a New Year's party where people are, drinking a lot of soda pop.
Yeah, he made me buy him that game. He's like, I really want it.
Hey, do you know that SpazMonkey has got a bunch of versions going all the way back to 2002 on the Wayback Machine?
Oh, yeah.
I can probably go find out what you thought was funny back then.
Oh, yeah. And you can find I was pretty rude and crude back then. So, but it was a completely different life. I'm a different person now, so. Ryan wants to know, are you guys going to the Bay Area Maker Fair?
So far, yeah.
Xander and I are planning to go, and we're going to make James go.
No. You know what's gonna happen? I mentioned it to my wife, and she's like, "Oh, I want to go there. Not to the Maker Faire. She just wants to get to the Bay Area. So now I have to go."
Yeah, but you have to go to the Maker Faire.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. She's gonna ditch me so she can do all their shopping in private.
That's completely fine. Now, have you taken your wife to a Maker Faire?
No, I've never been to one. Period.
Oh, you've never been to one. When we went to New York and we spent the 2 days in New York, I came home knowing that my wife would hate it. There were so many people and you couldn't really see anything and there was nothing interesting for her. She was going to hate it. I took her to Orlando Maker Faire and she is hooked.
You just took her like, she'll go to one and then she won't never want to do it again. Now it's
I genuinely came home thinking that she was going to hate Maker Faires, and we had such a good time. And Zach was like so into the battle bots. That was the funniest thing.
Xander, you will probably have your dad's hair by 16.
No. Wait, is Xander, is your grandfather on your mom's side bald?
Oh no, he has a full head of hair.
You're gonna be fine. The gene that causes baldness is carried in your mom, so you're gonna be good.
That is correct.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
But your dad might start shaving your head in your sleep just so that you can stop making the jokes.
I do threaten him. I'm gonna eat a banana on stream, but I'm gonna eat it like
graham crackers, Xander.
My blood sugar gets low. I can start to feel it, so I have to have something.
I overlaid the Google Hangouts window with the YouTube one so that I've got the current live stream or whatever, but every once in a while I alt tab and then I'm like, what's going on? The audio is out just saying. I'm like, oh no, never mind.
Well, you need more monitors.
I would, but I keep smashing them.
Yeah, you keep high-fiving them, knock right off the desk. Yeah, I have 3, and then I'm actually gonna add a 4th one up above. I just got a sweet little. It's old. It's I can't even know. I think it's a Dell. It's a 15-inch widescreen. It's very lightweight. It's a nice little monitor, so I'm going to add it up above.
What's been weird for me is that the donation places, we have Value Village here, but basically like Salvation Army, they've been getting like thick with monitors. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 8 LCDs that I've gotten from donations that I've paid $15 or less for each of them.
Nice.
5 of them are widescreen that do at least like more than 720p, like 1680 by 1050 or whatever. So I'm like, I had to stop buying them because I'm like, I'm out of useful purposes for them.
I have that same problem.
That poor yellow Joel bot.
I'm going to switch back to the camera print somebody's asked to see what's going on there.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And I'm going to have to make a bunch of noise so that it actually picks it up. Otherwise, it's just going to show you guys.
I can lock you.
No, don't lock me. I want to be able to switch back at a moment's notice. There. Is it displaying now, though? Do I have to click sync? There we go. And I'll hum the theme song to Jurassic Park. I guess I should have probably hummed Star Wars, right? I don't plan things out very well. I'll hum Star Wars. Da 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 da.
That's more of Indiana Jones.
That did sound Indiana Jones. Jones. I don't even know what I just said. So
there's a thing at work where I kept saying like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for the new Star Wars!" Da 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 da, and people would get so mad. Like, that's not. I'm like, no, totally, man. That's the theme song for it. You're mixing the two up. And I'm just really arrogant enough in my attitude that people thought it was legit.
Go said in the chat, do you want PEK, P-E-K? And then he said PEK filament, but I don't know what that is.
James, I just want you to know that I am cringing inside.
You're cringing on the outside too. I can see it. So
yeah. My insides are dying.
Modded Minecraft is kind of huge on Twitch.
Hey, Xander, buddy, look at the screen. This is for you. High five.
I guess we're alone now. I think we're alone now.
Yeah, I had 2 cameras on top of my monitor. I just high-fived one.
That's it. He's done now.
Yeah, CR10, buddy. I'm printing the TIE Fighter and the CR10.
It would be awesome if I can meet you guys because I'm going 100%. So Ryan will be at Bay Area Maker Faire. That's awesome. Hey, Glenn mentioned Papa Top a few times. Okay, I will be at. Oh, excellent. He will be at Murph, which we will also be at Murph. And I tried to convince James to go to Murph, but he would have to call in sick to work.
I'm gonna be sick in 2 months. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna be out that weekend.
I just jumped 8 subscribers in one shot.
But
good day.
Well, see, and that was when you took that dive. It was a whole chunk at one time. That's why I think it's something fishy with you two. And I'm passing out Technology Nerd 18 stickers.
Give me one. I'm gonna wear it on my forehead for 20 minutes. Oh crap! Do I actually have to do that now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said so. Print play. Use Nair instead of Razor.
Oh yeah. Nair works way better because you can smooth it on without waking the person up, and then nature just takes its course.
Yeah, but if you leave it on too long, it'll burn. The girl I dated in high school, her dad put it on his face one time laying in the bathtub, just to see if it would work. Fell asleep in there and burned his face.
I did that to my arm once because I didn't think it would work that well, and I guess I didn't rinse it off, or it was bad. I ended up bleeding from one spot.
Wow.
But so stay away from Nair, kids. Bad time.
Don't play with chemicals, children. James, that video was hilarious. I'm talking about your Joel high five video.
You have to link the video in chat. Apparently, I'm not cool enough. I don't have moderator rights in our own live stream.
Well,
I need a webcam.
Oh, post something. I'll give you. You should have moderator rights to me.
I posted test.
You should.
Maybe it's blocked URLs altogether, but
you should totally have that ability.
There's a lot
now you can always moderate my live feeds.
This is the video. I'm posting the video that broke Xander for a solid half an hour. The one that he still mentions every time we talk.
I kid you not. Every time I watched that video, and I watched it a lot, every time I watched it, I was belly laughing. It was so funny. I didn't expect it.
Xander, which one did you like better, that one or the JoelBot one?
Oh, that's hard. Oh, that's hard. Oh.
See, I'd have to vote for the Monitor's high five video because I just totally wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna do something to your JoelBot commercial and send it back to you, just because I think it's funny, but I won't post it publicly.
I would say the high-fiving the Monitor.
Thanks, James. I laughed so hard that my stomach got a Charlie horse.
I was actually gonna try and contact Joel and see if he'd record the audio for the interaction between the two JoelBots, and I was like, he's got too many things to do.
That guy is so busy. He's so busy. I don't know how he does it. I think he's a JoelBot. He works a full-time job. He works for Adobe. He's a software engineer for Adobe, and then comes home and from this time to this time he spends with his family, and I forget what the time block is. And then it's at 11 o'clock at night, he goes and does his 3D printing nerd stuff until 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But I mean, I'm sure it's helpful having somebody else edit your videos. That seems to be what takes the longest for me.
What blows my mind is he still shows up for a bunch of live streams. Whenever there's I think he was in Jatman's on Twitter the other day, or Twitch the other day, and he showed up for Angus and stuff. I'm like, I don't know how he does it. I have trouble getting 2 videos done a week, and I'm just a lazy slob.
Yeah, it's crazy. But and then the 3D printing, the Friday 3D printing community hangouts, he'll pop into those. And 1 week, the week that he told Xander he was going to give him the printer, he showed up in chat. The next week he was in on camera, and this one was about ready to wet himself. So. But yeah, he just I don't know how he manages his time that well. My wife, I'm thoroughly convinced that she hates the fact that I ever bought a 3D printer.
I know mine does.
It just takes up like so much of my time between, and it's not even the 3D printing part. It's the YouTube. It's the YouTube that takes up all the time. So
That's 100% it. I mean, it's like 20% filming, 80% editing, and I'm not even that good at the editing yet. Maybe it'll be faster.
stop crunching in the microphone. I
Kid eat his graham crackers in peace.
she always gave me like a bunch of grief because I don't have friends. Like
Friends are overrated.
well, like
My friend named Glenn, and let me tell you.
well, it's funny. Like I have friends. If I need something, I got somebody I can call. Some of them are probably still hanging out in here. But then all of a sudden I get into this and I meet like you and Ron and Joel and so I'm like, well, you told me to get some friends, and she goes, that doesn't count.
How does that not count?
And I'm like,
You don't count? Look at the size. I count for 2 people.
she's like, you need local friends. I'm like, why do I need local friends? Like I'm good with my friends being all over the world. What if I need something in Australia? Now I got a guy.
Or you need maple syrup.
Right. Fresh.
You want some maple syrup for those crackers there, Xander? Yeah, see? Xander gets it.
James will go out and just tap the tree right now and get you some.
No, they're always tapped here. I just gotta go open it's like opening water taps for you guys.
Okay, Game Critic says, hi guys from Shane. Hey James from Shane. Sup Glenn from Shane. So
I think his name might be Shane. Hi, Shane.
I'm assuming Game Critic's name is Shane, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm terrible with names, but I try. So I will try to always remember Game Critic as Shane. I feel weird calling people like by their screen name. Like, I don't want to call Ryan Technology Nerd 18. That just feels weird. But yet when people call me Fun King, I'm cool with it. Like I wouldn't call you Print and Play. Hey, Print and Play. It's, but you know what I'm saying? Like it just feels weird. So I
wouldn't be his friend. He's bald.
I like this channel's just gonna be me by myself.
Okay.
Am I a Sens fan? I do like the Sens. I'm not originally from Ottawa, so I was a Leafs fan for a long time. I kind of still root for the underdog. I mean, I remember the last time the Leafs had a generally good season, but I keep hoping.
Is that hockey?
Yeah, it's hockey.
Hockey?
I like to pour myself a glass of maple syrup and head down and watch the Sens play.
It's all about the Red Wings.
Double and some smokes.
It's all about the Red Wings, brother.
Oh, Lord. You like to watch loss, I mean.
I root for the Red Wings and the Vikings. I know all about losing.
Oh, Ghost said my name 3 times. It's not like Beetlejuice, buddy. I don't appear behind you.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, that would have been so convenient, though, when you were at Maker Faire. James. Yeah!
Poof. Yeah, but then
I have to find somebody on the other side to bring me back.
I was going to say, how do you get home?
I live here now.
You'd be like calling a friend, hey, could you say my name 3 times?
That'd be the worst, though. People that gets around, people start doing that at inopportune times.
Oh, Richard just popped in, Zadim. If you guys aren't familiar with him, go check out his channel.
I got all tab going on. The internet's so difficult.
Always is.
Especially with Spaz Monkey.
James, you're a really funny guy. You would be an awesome to meet in person. No, actually, he's really an a-hole.
True. Yep. You want somebody to ruin your or ruin your entire self-worth, then I'm right there for you. Mine would have been at 10,000, but I've been holding them back. Joel broke my plan. That print is at
monitor.
Probably about 90%. We are now 61 hours into this print, and it is 90%. give or
I was
take.
gonna say, shouldn't that thing be at like 180% at this point?
The original estimate for this was like 45 hours, I think I was telling you guys, right? Somewhere about that. And yeah, 61 hours and still not done.
Oh, that's crazy. How much filament has it used? You know?
I don't know, probably 3/4 of a roll, give or take. I had a fail. Let me see. I have failures all around me. Say something so it's not pointed at my back.
Why? This is fun.
Yeah, this was the first attempt, which looked like it was going pretty good. Like you can see, the separates easy from the raft. Yeah, the raft didn't adhere on one side, so that it's still coming. Oh, I probably could have. No, never mind. It layer shifted. I didn't even notice at the very beginning, and I kept looking at the webcam, going, "It doesn't look right. There's a weird shadow." No, not a weird shadow. It layer shifted, and everything went to.
Wow.
That's the only snag I've run into. It's happened twice with the CR10, and I don't think it's a common problem. So I'm not going to like downplay the printer for it, but it's happened a couple of times where something curls a little bit and it catches the hot end, and the glass plate actually shifts. And I came home. I've talked about it on one of the live streams here. I came home after I was printing some Halloween decorations, and that had happened, and it curled so bad and then caught the hot end that it melted up into the hot end, jammed both fans, and launched the glass off the CR10 onto the floor. I don't know how it didn't shatter, but I came back and the glass is sitting there. There's still two pieces attached to it, and there's like a string of filament running down when it like surfed its way down. The CR10 is printing in midair. Well, not printing in midair. It's moving in midair, but both fans, like it broke the blades off the fans, and it was
wow. Yeah, this I keep this because this is the worst one that I've had, and this was on the Prusa.
Oh, that melted right up onto the hot end. Yeah, I can see the.
Absolutely, yeah. And I walked upstairs, and there was like this stink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And I go to the printer. We were printing a thing for Xander Spring Thursday, which is coming up. You don't show it. It's coming up.
I'm blocking it.
Xander's thing Saturday.
But so like I'm looking and it's not on the printer, and I'm like, oh, he must have come up and got it already. And then I'm looking and it's under the bed and off to the sides, and it just so. But that actually downed the Prusa. I had to order a new nozzle.
That's the one you tried to steel brush off, right?
Yeah. But I ordered a new nozzle and new PTFE tubing because it was just jamming. It was under extruding so bad at that point. So we were down for like a whole week, and the only printer we had was the Fab Mini.
That must have been a super productive week for you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, then
just the cherry.
Well, then the parts finally get here, and it was a scramble to get it going again, and and then I had to recalibrate everything because of the new nozzle, and it was it was a chore. So Ryan says
on I think all of the printers so far, and I end up using like a butane torch, and basically just like superheating it, and then I let it cool off a bit, but it turns the PLA to ash. But it's pretty intense to watch because the copper actually gets to the point where it glows right before it like starts to like really soften. So I torch it a couple times with that, and then run alcohol through it, and I haven't killed a nozzle with it yet. So knock on wood.
Reggie asked. He said, "Odd question, but I constantly hear about long prints taking like 60 hours, etc. Don't 3D printers have duty cycles?" And I'm going to have to say that. Well, I mean, everything has some type of a duty cycle, but I think as long as it's using quality components, like I wouldn't think twice about setting a 100-hour print on my Prusa. 100-hour print on the ANET, because they're the lower quality steppers and stuff. But I don't think that. I mean, nothing in there is getting hot that's not supposed to be anyway. Like running the steppers longer doesn't necessarily get them hotter. So
I don't have like 100% faith in my printers. I mean, that's the safe thing to do. So if I'm doing a long print, I usually try to kick it off on like a Friday night so that it runs mostly over the weekend so I can keep an eye on it. Because if I don't, then stuff like this happens where it shifts in the first couple of layers and I miss it. Because that was one of those. I started it, made sure that the raft was good, and then went to bed type thing. So didn't pay enough attention to it. But yeah, I'm not like super worried about it. Back in the day, you had to worry about like thermal runaway and stuff like that, where the thermistor slips and then it doesn't sense that it thermistor slipped and catches on fire. But yeah, there doesn't seem too much like burnout or anything like that on them. It's been pretty good.
I don't know if that really answered the question, but that's definitely our opinion.
We don't claim to be experts or even knowledgeable, but you guys are still hanging out, so good for you. You can say you heard it from a guy on the internet if anybody asks.
That's right. And if it's on the internet, it has to be true. Ryan says I need a CR10, and you're right. I do need a CR10, but I may be getting an A12 here soon, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I need a CR10.
And then he said, well, you're about to get an MP Select Mini, which I think was supposed to be delivered yesterday, but nobody was at the office, so I will get it on Monday. Do you recycle failed prints, regrind, and extrude to new reel? No, that's a huge ordeal. I mean, they make the machine to grind up PLA and make your own filament and stuff, but it's just not precise enough. You'll end up with clogs and stuff.
It's also and to get one that'll do it, like I was looking at some of the ones that are better reviewed, and it was like a $10,000 investment to get something that's really going to do a fine job of it. So it's kind of prohibitively expensive. Even the cheaper ones were like in the $1,200 to $2,000 market. So
yeah, and
my wife wants me to do that because she's like, "Oh, it's so wasteful." I'm like, "Well, like recycle as much as I can, but like, no, I'm not gonna mash it up for it. No, I'm not gonna spend that much money to think how much filament I could buy for that."
Well, that's it. I mean, filament is so cheap now. It's getting cheaper and cheaper. And I checked with our garbage people, and they don't necessarily have a specific. They said just put it in the regular recycle. So,
if you don't remember Game Critic's name, then shame on you.
What's that?
If you don't remember Game Critic's name, then shame on you.
Shame on you? Is that a good way to remember it? Is that what you're telling me?
Shame on you.
Sure, why not?
Not using a hardened nozzle when needed would impact a long print. That is definitely true. It would look good in the beginning and terrible by the end.
Okay, here's a way to remember Game Critic's name. If you forget it, I'll tase you.
That's shocking.
I'm lost. I guess I'm tired now. I'm not really sure what he's talking about. So,
wait, did you buy your son a taser?
Oh yeah, I buy all the children tasers. We build them ourselves out of Arduino. Ghost asked if the E12 was any good. I don't have an E12 yet. I'm working with GearBest on getting one. I don't know anything about it. I've intentionally not went to look because I want to do a fair and balanced review on it.
I'm gonna spam your Twitter with like, did you know that the printer you're getting does this, does that, just to completely influence your review?
Right. Well, and it would too. I guess because of human nature. Like, I have a brain. I can cipher through stuff. But you know how like sometimes you hear something just one time and then you're like, somebody will say, "Oh, that restaurant was awful," and then all of a sudden you're telling everybody, "Oh, I heard from people that place is awful," but really you only heard it from one person. Like that's just I don't know. It's just the way brains work. But Game Critic wants to know if I remember his name, and of course it's Game Critic.
Also, I haven't looked at the channel. I don't know if that's a female or a male.
I was gonna say. I was just gonna say. I assume. I don't know if I know any females named Shane, but you can correct us, Shane, if it's because the spelling is different than I've always seen it too. Spelling is always. I grew up with a kid named Shane, but it was Shane. We just called him Garfield, and I don't even know why.
Did he love lasagna?
No, I don't think so.
Did he eat a lot?
It might have just been one of those things where he told people, "I want to be called Garfield," and then this was in elementary school. Elementary school kids are weird. So.
Yeah, I my life or early years being called Ralph because one of the kids, the older kids in the neighborhood was like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "James." The guy, you don't look like a James. You look like a Ralph. Okay.
Those elementary dweebs.
I always get Greg. People always call me Greg.
I'm old, Greg.
It's like, really, Greg?
Hi, Greg.
So, but
I'm now going to call you Greg.
Does the E12 come as a kit? I believe it comes broken down just like the CR10. Like it's already assembled, but but the top gantry is laid down. Which Lee said suppose it comes like the CR10, so we're definitely on the same page there. One idea is to recycle something other than filament. Richard, kind of build on that, because I mean, if you're talking about, like, I do recycle, we have a specific recycle can. So
I wonder if he's saying like recycling other stuff and turning it into filament. All around us, man.
Ryan said, I didn't ship the printer yet. I printed the shipping label. I'll ship it Monday. Oh, thanks. I've been staring out the window waiting on it, and you haven't even printed it.
I think Ryan wasn't here when you were talking about how all your printers broke and you were really relying on that one showing up.
Right, I needed that one so badly.
He needs to print parts for all the other printers he has, otherwise they're never going to run again.
I'm getting a Prusa i3 MK3 for Christmas. That is a terrible Christmas gift. You should get it for Black Friday. that print, I'm so tempted to buy the upgrade kit to take my S to 3, but I don't know. Oh, GearBest, Fun King moved. Here's the new address you can you can send the ANA E12 to.
Glenn, look at that.
I'm not going to say anything bad about GearBest. I mean, every time you deal with a Chinese,
it's going to take forever.
Well, there's always a communication issue and stuff, but
and the pigeons are slow.
The pigeons are slow. I've bought from GearBest. That's where my A8 came from. The transaction was fantastic. I've never had an issue with them. I know some people do. The issue I had was I was reaching out to them as a small channel every week asking to join their pro program, and they just, well, they only responded twice out of every time I sent it, and they just told me I wasn't a good fit. Then all of a sudden at 3,500 subs, I got an email and they said, hey, we watched your video and we like your style. We want to send you something. It's like, oh, okay. I guess my style changed when I hit 3,500, but I'm still on a rampage. Is that the right word? Rampage?
It depends.
Rampage?
Am I on a mission? I don't know. I want smaller YouTube channels to be the ones who get the printers for review.
Yeah, that would be mission.
Mission?
That would be Rampage.
God, I don't know.
Google.
It's getting late, getting tired.
We're on a quest.
But my thought is, you know, this all started because of the whole TiVo issue, and I don't know if everybody's familiar with the TiVo issue. If not, you should be. They sent a printer unannounced to Tom, and I always mess up his last name, Sandlander.
I accidentally called him Thomas Salamander the other day. I felt pretty bad.
Thomas Salamander.
Yeah.
But they sent him a printer without asking him. They just sent it to him. And then it got hung up in customs. And so he made oh, Chuck's here. Hey, Chuck. But he made a tweet about it and said, you know, hey, if you're going to send me some unarranged, at least make sure it makes it through customs. And then they tipped him €1,000 through PayPal. Which
apparently, like, because I think the original message was like, oh, this is to cover shipping costs. And then it turned into this whole thing like, so are you trying to pay him for a review? And it was like, and then they were like, they're like, oh, Jatman understands this. They brought in Justin, and then Jatman's like, why are you pulling me into this?
Well, and Preston was like months ago was talking about the fact that TiVo had done stuff like this, and everybody was like, no, they wouldn't do that. And so, and I'm sure a lot of it.
Oh no!
On, but yeah, amazing how sub count changes perspective. Yes, suddenly I have more style. I have better style at 3,500 than I did at 147.
Great.
But I want. Hey, Greg. I just think that these manufacturers would be better off sending a few printers. Okay, so I don't know what it costs them to manufacture a printer, but let's say it's $100, and then they also send €1,000 with that. So they could have taken 10 of those printers and sent them to 10 smaller channels who have the time to put them together and review them. So maybe it's not one person with 100,000 subscribers. It's 10 channels that have 1,000 subscribers or whatever, you know, it's still going to get the stuff out there. So I don't know. That's my, and you know, even now that I'm big and have 5,506 subscribers,
Xander, say
you got 2 more? The contest is over. You're supposed to be back down to like 200 by now.
I think it's falling.
Oh, now I feel bad for. Okay, now I feel bad for saying it.
Xander, say something awesome.
You just said something awesome.
Oh,
Say something amazing. Xander, say something awesome.
I am awesome.
Xander has a little bit of an ego problem.
Eagle.
He can't fit through the door sometimes because his head is so big.
Yeah, you're telling me when you guys went to the Maker Faire, he was waiting for everybody to recognize him.
Well, and then it happened, and it like completely blew my mind. We weren't 70 feet into the place, and somebody yells "Fun King," and I'm like, "There's just no way. There's no way this is happening." You know, it's blazing across my chest everywhere I go, but you know, it's just like, I don't know.
You got the spelling right. You did good.
Yeah, if Google or if YouTube could get the spelling right now, they seem to put a C in there and leave out some spaces. And how do you spell Xander's name?
Xanders.
Exactly like you spelled it. I think it's to make up for his feelings on the TiVo Black Widow. Well, that's possible, but they sent the I know we're kind of jumping around in conversation, but they sent the PayPal money, and the only note in there was tip. And then they claimed that it was to cover the taxes and for the inconvenience. €1,000 is a lot of inconvenience.
And the other thing is too is that this is after Thomas had announced that he wasn't doing 3D printer reviews anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he put up a video saying like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to get back to the stuff that I want to do. And then they're like, hey, guess what? Here's a printer unsolicited.
But see, that information still needs to be out there. You know, I mean, we still need reviews to know whether. But see, it's so hard because you don't know, and I mean, you have to be your own judge. I mean, when I go looking for reviews for stuff, I watch as many as I can, and then I try to decipher through the good from the bad. And I read a lot of reviews, you know, like left on Amazon and whatever. So, but I mean, if everybody just like said, okay, I'm not doing any more reviews, there would be trouble because nobody would know what to buy. So, but in fact, I'm sure he's still hanging out with us, but Chuck had made a comment, and you can correct me if I say this wrong, Chuck, but he had made a comment the other day on Twitter about he looks at reviews from the perspective of, even if the printer is given to him, if I was spending my own money on this, is this something that I would want to buy? Is this something that's going to do for me what I want to do? Is it worth the amount of money that they're charging if I had to buy this printer? So, and I think that's awesome. So, like, I mean, yes, I want companies to send me stuff to review, but mainly because I want the content. But, you know, I'm not looking for Ultimaker to send me a $3,500 printer. I wouldn't refuse it.
Hey Xander, who's your favorite YouTube? Does it have to be under a certain category?
You better say me, or I'm going to punch you in the face.
Me.
Or at least James.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna feel really guilty then.
I think he should say whatever he wants, and if his monitor gets slapped, then you know that's his fault.
Ryan said he got sent a roll of Polymaker Polylate for review. You're going to post the video on Wednesday, Ryan? Yeah, Chuck just confirmed that's exactly right. That's how he approaches it, and I love that, Chuck. I think that is perfect, and that's the way that it should be. Unfortunately, if I only reviewed printers that I could afford, it wouldn't be very good. It wouldn't be a very good selection. But no, I absolutely. I mean, that's the way that it should be. So, Glenn, if I do any review, I will have one bought item or to win the item. No, there's no problem doing a review on something that somebody sends you, as long as you full disclose it that it was given to you, which I guess by FTC law you have to, but I mean, make it known that it was given to you, and then be honest. Regardless, I mean, don't ever worry about, like, if you say, oh, you know, this XY. Well, I got to be careful because there might be a company called that. This Glenn's printer is terrible. It's the worst printer. And now all of a sudden I've burned the bridge with that company and they're never going to send me anything again.
It is a terrible printer.
You got to do it. I mean, you cannot lie.
Yeah, because you have to accept the fact that if you like tailor make a review so that people will, like, so you can get more free printers. If 500 people see your review and then base their decision on or to buy that printer, that's kind of on you. And it may not haunt you at first, like it may not bother you or whatever, but people are going to stop watching your reviews and stuff if you keep, you know, leading people to the wrong conclusions on stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll destroy your reputation very, very fast.
Okay.
Oh, Rennie's here.
Okay.
And it is super hard to go into a review without wanting to like the product. Like, it's hard to go in without some sort of bias. But yeah, ultimately you basically have to weigh the pros and the cons and the price and all that type of stuff, and, you know, give it all.
My Polymaker Polylite review, and if you didn't watch it, you can just, you know, smile and nod and pretend like you did. I told them, I mean, when we met the guys from Polymaker at Maker Faire, I told them straight up that when I got that filament, I wanted to hate it. I wanted to be able to make a video and go, oh, this is the worst filament I've ever printed with, because they gave it to me. You know, I wanted the world to know that I was getting something for free, and I was going to say it was terrible, but it wasn't. It was really great filament. So I had to be like, you know, so I kind of look forward to somebody giving me something for review that's bad, that I can say is bad, but I'm not gonna if it's not. So Chuck says I've pissed off a few printer companies because of my honest review, but that's okay. I mean, more power to you, Chuck.
Okay, Game Critic. My favorite YouTubers under 3D printing category, Joel or James, and under gaming, Preston Plays.
Wow, he just put you way up there, James. I mean, he went to Joel and Jay and left Chuck out.
There's got to be another James.
Sorry, Chuck.
Chuck's one of my favorites.
Oh.
That's awesome. Oh,
yeah.
And James asked a couple of times how that print's going. Print's going good. I mean, it's slow as molasses. It finishes a layer once in a blue moon, so it looks about the same.
I'm just trying to catch up on chat. I'm sorry. I didn't want to leave dead space and you stop talking.
Oh, okay. Horse walks into a bar. Stupid horse.
Ron said it's got to be tough if you review something that sucks so bad that you want to send it back. And yeah, that does happen.
No, Chuck, no.
I actually have a review coming out that I really wanted to love. There's a little, if you guys can see that, that's part of the review for the product. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to love this. I was super excited about it. I even posted on Twitter. I'm like, hey, I'm going to take this thing out. It's a type of drone, and it sucked. I bought it, like, it wasn't like sent to me for review. I bought it.
Oh, yeah. I seen that video that you posted. I was like, you were like filming it, and I was waiting for it to take off, and it never did. So
I've got the review filmed. I haven't finished editing it, but like the punchline is, if you don't want to watch the video when it comes out, it was terrible. It's this shaped as the USS Enterprise drone, and I took it out and there was zero wind, and it took off like fairly easy or whatever, and it gets up into the air. There's again no wind. The flying near trees or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like wobble, 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 and the thing's got a sensor that if it becomes unstable, it plays the red alert sound from the controller, which is here. There's like a speaker and stuff built into it. So all of a sudden it's like, and then it just crashes straight into the ground. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. It was just flying stable. So I've got like a minute 30 worth of really good footage of it flying that kind of makes it look like I know what I'm doing and it flies well. But then I'm like, yeah, this is terrible. And it's heartbreaking because I started off the review by being like as a kid when I was 6, I was like, my dream one day would be able to fly the USS Enterprise. And I'm like, and obviously, eventually, I had to give that dream up because it's not real. But you know, the idea of having a remote control Enterprise has always been awesome to me. But that was something that could never happen until it did. And here it is, and I'm super excited. And then like the rest of the video is just like it crashes a lot. Oh, that's another thing. The power button on the controller was broken out of the box.
Just like that, your dreams were smashed.
See, I think it's on now. Let's see if we can get some sound effects so we can get the copyright infringement. Yeah, phasers.
Oh, great. Now you just demonetized my video. Thanks a lot.
Oh, no, not my 38 cents. I'll send you $1 and we'll call it even.
Shane wants to know, hey, Glenn, what time is it right now? It's Shane time.
I would definitely print this TIE Fighter on the Parts Daddy if I had access to the Parts Daddy.
Yeah, but it has a really big layer line, so.
That's fine. I print a copy of myself to send to work.
Chuck is done with Xander because he skipped him.
Yeah.
Ryan just called Chuck old. Oh, old-fashioned. It was cool to get to meet Chuck. And you know, Joel is a really tall guy, and then here's Chuck.
Oh, that's a very fancy chair.
Very fancy chair.
Oh, thanks. It's fancy.
Fancy.
There you go. This is the Enterprise one. This is it's the Enterprise original series refit. So the one from the movies where they made the nacelle square and stuff like that. And you can see it's got some battle damage because you can stick your finger all the way through the saucer section. It's pretty exciting. Yeah. It was interesting. It's a pretty good display piece. I can understand why they went to the effort to make a nice stand for it that it sits on because you're going to leave it there all the time. Resting place. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a neat looking piece. I mean, it's a cool design.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's not
like as the Enterprise design, but like the way they made it into a drone
it's
is
most
cool.
likely not made for flying.
But yeah.
Well, and they did it smart because like this is all foam, so this is super light. It doesn't add any actual weight to it.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask. Is wouldn't that be?
Yeah, because that's why the stand's there, right? Because you can balance it right on the saucer, and it doesn't look like it should, but like this is like probably 15 or 20 grams worth of material, and they put the battery in the front, so it's front heavy for the saucer, but all together it's balanced. So like the design in theory should be good, and maybe it's just like super sensitive to even like a small. Actually, no, because I tried to trim it indoors first, where I had control over airflow and stuff like that, and I'd get it trimmed and I'd get it hovering, and then like all of a sudden I'd just be like, nope, going this way, never mind.
Chuck just said it would make a cool fan.
It does. If I can get it to turn on, it's also super loud for a drone. Oh, never mind. I left it on. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's got some flashing lights and stuff on it, though. It looks pretty cool lit up.
It's really fancy.
I'm so gonna buy it now because it has lights. Oh my god.
And how much was that?
It was like 600 beaver bucks. So it's like I think 50 or 60 bucks US. I can't get the freaking controller to stay powered on now because, you know. Come on. Yeah, I took it apart. The spring's actually missing in the power button. I was originally going to be like, I'll just bring it back and get another one. I'm like, nope, let's find out why it's broken. Because I'm stupid like that.
You bought it locally?
Yeah, from a place called Canadian Tire.
Oh, yeah. That is loud.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try and take this off from my hand. I'm probably gonna knock over the webcam. It's gonna be like the high five video all over again. This is a bad idea. Ah! It flies right back at me and sets off the red alert. So obviously what I need to do is take it off, point it at my face, right?
These live streams get worse and worse the later it gets.
It's true. I need a nap. It's dead now. Gone but not forgotten.
You're missing the webcam, but that's fine.
Fine. No, I'm not doing it. I've only got one webcam left. I've already knocked over the backup one.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. People are asking about beaver bucks. Yeah, James is Canadian. He's across the border, so.
I'm from Canada, eh? They think I'm slow.
Take off, you hoser.
Gonna go get me a double-double at the Tim Hortons.
Richard just said, "Watch it go into your print." Oh, that would have been horrible.
Oh my.
I would just I just turn it off right now. And that would be the end of it. Like 60 hours in. Like the first failure also. So a buddy of mine asked me to print this for him, and he said like we're talking about how big I could make it for like a single roll of filament. So this is going to use 980 grams out of a 1 kilogram roll. So as soon as this failed, I'm like crap. I need to order another roll of filament.
Holy cow. Ryan wants to know when we're going to do another stream. I'll get with you, Ryan. We'll figure something out.
The cats absolutely hate the drones. But as soon as it's on the ground, they'll try and destroy it. So, yeah.
Shane wants to know if we can see how the print is doing.
I mean, if you like watching paint dry. Oh, there's my chair again, by the way.
Oh.
That's a nice chair. I've actually got my eye on a couple of those in black and yellow for our new studio.
Do, 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 do. I tried to see if it was actually broken in half because it didn't seem like a soft landing. Now you guys can just watch my chair for a while.
Yay.
It's Xander's Chair Thursday. Hey, hey, hey.
I wonder how many views that would get.
It's just an empty chair for 20 minutes. I'm Xander. This is my chair. See you later.
Hi, I'm Xander, and I'm going to eat these graham crackers live on the air. He ate the whole entire package, too, just so y'all know.
Your maple syrup was late, James.
Ah, maple syrup. Oh, they wanted to see how the print's doing, right? Second, I'll switch it back over. I'm trying to see what I'm going to destroy next. Let's see. There you go.
Wow. That is crazy.
It's so big.
I just, I shy away from printing anything that big or long, because like I don't want to tie the printer up for too long because there might be something else I want to print. And with the other one offline right now, that's why you have to own all the printers. Gotta own them all.
I've actually set up now that I've got space for up to 10 3D printers, so I'm probably good for at least until the end of the year.
Well, see, and that was the other decision I was trying to make when we move this to the dedicated studio. I don't want to take the printers with me. I like having them here because I'm here most of the time. So like I print during the day while I'm working and stuff. So I don't really want, but maybe I can cycle them. Because the studio is I have a big garage. It's a big steel building. It's a 4,000 square foot steel building. And there's an apartment inside of that. And it's like 18 by 22 or 24, I think.
Something.
But so it's not like just a quick hop, skip, and a jump to get there. So if I have my printers out there and I want to print something, I'd have to run, it's just weird. So I guess I just have to have one of each kind in both places.
Congrats, Ryan.
Ah, Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Ryan just hit 250 subs. That's awesome,
what I was trying to get you.
Xander and I were both trying to say that, and then you took the thunder from both of us.
Yeah.
Boom! That's the way I roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run down some quick questions. Send some some poutine or cheese curds. Nope, because if I get them, I'm eating them. You don't get any. You missed the Ottawa last year. That's too bad. Print is at 91%. That's good. What material I'm using? I'm using what is it? Solutech Gray PLA, which is doing a pretty good job. There's a little bit of inconsistency, which isn't showing super well on the webcam, but all in all, it's going to be a solid print, and the guy that I'm printing it for is going to paint it in the end. Yes, it is a standard CR10. And I think that's everything. No, it's not the CR10S. It does not have the dual Z rods. It's just the plain Jane original. I bought through Hicktop, so I think they put the blue stuff on it versus the orange. I don't know if that's something that's on all the upgraded ones now, but yeah.
Yeah, Chuck said it looks like the CR10S with the dual Z rod. You must just not be giving us a proper camera angle of your Z rods.
Yes, the view is from the front. That way I can bump it and screw up the time lapses as much as possible. It's ridiculous, right? Because it's so slow, but I could literally watch a 3D print for like 3 or 4 hours and not get bored. I'm just like, it's coming out of nothing.
Well, that's like the most amazing thing. Like when you're trying to explain 3D printing to somebody and they're like, I know I was trying to explain it to some people that used to be neighbors of mine. They had stopped by and I said, I do 3D printing now. And they're like, oh, so you can print on like coffee cups and stuff? And I'm like, no. I said, here, let me show you. And I reach in and I take out my maker coin and I'm like, this didn't exist. This was nothing. And it was a thought in my brain and then now it exists. You know, it's like, this was a roll of weed eater filament.
My wife wasn't like super on board with me getting I like how every time I talk now it's showing the print instead of me. It's like, this is more interesting anyways. My wife wasn't super on board with the 3D printing thing, and then a friend of mine at work got I think a MakerBot, and he printed off like a nut and bolt set. So I brought it home and I handed it to her. She's like, what's this? I'm like, this is something a 3D printer did. And she's like, you can print stuff like this? I'm like, you can print anything if you get like, anything your imagination can sort of conceive of. And then all of a sudden she was more on board with it. So,
well, see, my wife is still waiting for me to print something that's not a part for my 3D printer.
Well, now she's kind of sick because every time sick of it because every time she's like, oh, I have to do this. I'm like, I could 3D print you something to do that. And she's like, enough.
Well, see, and I think my big craze really started last Christmas season. You know, like we were out putting up lights or whatever, and I'm like, I could 3D print a gutter clip for that, or I could 3D print, or I could, and now all of a sudden here we are in Christmas season, and I'm actually printing this stuff. I'm like, didn't I say last year I could have printed this? And so now this year I am actually printing it. So
we, my wife's, that's my wife in chat, Kay Cameron. I guess she's been eavesdropping the entire time.
There are so many Benjis around our house.
You gathered them all up in it. Well, this is something else I've done. Whenever I print a test print or whatever, because so many people are like, oh, can I have something 3D printed when they come to the house? So I've started stashing them all in a container. So I'm like, take your pick. You can have whatever you want in this bin because I'm not waiting 3 hours to print something.
Yeah, I give out my maker coins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
I've only given out one of my maker coins so far because I haven't done a video about them yet. But for those who are interested, my maker coin looks like an original Game Boy,
which is really cool.
I modeled it in Paint.
Richard did just bring up a good point. I did print that toilet paper roll holder, the Lego toilet paper roll holder. So I have printed some practical things. The problem is every time I take it out of the bathroom to show it on camera, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom.
Oh, poop.
Hey, would you guys please stop talking about the E12?
Stop it.
I don't want any influence out of the chat.
Stop it,
I
chat.
heard that I was just reading that if you actually sit too close to the E12 while it's printing, it causes your hair to fall out.
What?
Oh, I was told that it actually caused it to grow back.
You never told me that.
Yeah,
Xander,
wait.
you look just like your dad. I wouldn't know which one's which when I meet you guys.
I totally wanted to shave his head like this one time. Just
buy him a bald cap. It's less permanent and more funny.
It's not permanent. His hair grows back. It grows back fast.
It's true.
Just shave it down. He'll be fine. He won't go for it though.
You know what the worst part is? I usually think, like, this is getting back to when I tried to fly the drone, which was super smart, by the way. I encourage other people to be like that. I usually think of the worst case scenario when I do something. I never even thought of it could fly back over my head and wreck that print. Like, I literally took it away from
my God. That would have been so horrible, but at least it would have been on video.
It would have been like tomorrow, like my channel shut down and I have all my printers on eBay. A severely damaged CR-10 with a USS Enterprise stuck in the print on the bed. Hey, you know what? This would be perfect, though. We'd finally solve the fight on who wins versus Star Trek versus Star Wars. But yeah, I realized I was talking about the 3D printing thing too much. My wife's got a Christmas party this year is, what do you call it? Masquerade theme. So we were talking about masquerade masks. So I started looking up 3D printable ones. She's like, no, I'm buying one. You can 3D print yourself one if you want. And I was like, sorry. Everything's 3D printed now.
Yeah, but why not? You know, I mean,
I'm going to do the Phantom of the Opera one. I'm going to try and like finish it so it looks really, really good. And I'm going to look good because my face will be hidden.
Well, you do know that our live stream has now gone on 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 37 minutes.
It's true.
So either we're very entertaining to ourselves or we're entertaining to other people.
We still have 26 people, so, and I think only 13 of them are bots, so we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, maybe somebody paid them to be here. I don't know.
Ryan, I'm still just using Kira.
Ron's gonna send me a dreadlock wig. I would wear that. I mean, on stream.
I think that would get you at least another 10 subscribers.
Xander and I talked about getting like fake mustaches one time and stuff, and I printed out the Tom Selleck one. It's around here somewhere, but it hurt my nose when I put it on. But that's in one of the videos. And then there's a video of Xander wearing glasses. And in fact, it was the one that Joel chose to highlight on his.
All of them.
He's wearing. There's no lenses in him. Like he's in the video and he goes, and it's just his eye. There's no lenses in the glasses. So I don't know. We just like to do goofy things.
Out of all the videos Joel could have chosen, it's that one.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, when we did our thank you video, when all of the Joel effect happened, and we were wearing the ties, like I like to goof around like that. I don't have any trouble making fun of myself. So,
Ryan, your Simplify 3D issue, I think I've seen other people reporting a similar issue because it looks like it's a connectivity issue. Because you were getting an error saying that it couldn't connect to the server that provides the printer profiles, right? Now we're gonna have to wait 38 minutes for him to respond because of the
right.
chat.
That's the worst is the delay. I do wish though that there was a dump button, like how radio stations have a delay, because I would love to give out my Google Voice number and just like have people call in like a radio show. I think it would be so cool to have people just call up and ask questions.
Now we gotta do that.
Yeah, but there's no way to dump it. They could you could pick up and they could just start yelling vulgarities and then. Oh, and then it just went quiet. Can't have silence.
Yeah, come on, be a better host, dude.
Yeah.
It's Joel.
I wasn't actually
Joel.
hosting this. This was just you and me talking to each other, and then all these people came.
It's Joel.
It's Joel.
Good night, Chuck. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. It means a lot to me.
You interrupted James.
I will interrupt James for Chuck. Sorry.
Wow.
James, go again, please.
It's Joelbot. Joelbot, the coolest robot in the galaxy. It's Joelbot. Joelbot, bringing high fives for you and high fives for me.
I kid you not. My kids run around singing that, and then Zach started singing like that tune, but something about Roblox. I don't even know, but it was funny because he was like, yeah, he was. I don't like. I guess because like Joelbot sounds like Roblox, but like he was, and I thought, oh, that tune's familiar. What song is that? And then it dawned on me.
Now then I could go after him for all his pennies.
That's right.
All the pennies you make off YouTube are mine.
That kid has more money than I do.
Most kids do.
Yeah, he's got it all stockpiled.
We got something they don't have: crippling debt.
That's right. So
Got to be an adult for that.
So I have this. You see? Can you guys see that? That is a $1 million bill.
Yes, we are that rich.
So
like anyone would believe. That.
I bought 200 of those once back when I was working at Best Buy, and I used to just give them to people, just randomly. Here, have $1 million.
just kind of as like a icebreaker type thing. But I sold TVs, so it'd be like, I'll tell you what, you buy this TV today, I'll give you $1 million. And they're like, what? And I'm like, here's $1 million. You know, it was a good icebreaker. But
$1 million.
we now use them for the kids' video games. So they have to pay, we just call them $1. You know, they have to pay $1 for an hour worth of video game play. And then to earn those, they have to do chores. And it works out really well because this one plays a lot of video games, and he really kind of turns into an a-hole when he plays video games.
Is he any good, though? That's the real question.
What's that?
Is he any good? That's the real question.
I don't really know. Are you any good? Like, he doesn't, I don't let him play, like...
It depends on what game.
Yeah, he doesn't play anything that's higher than T for teen. Like, he doesn't play Modern Warfare and...
If it's, like, survival games, then most likely no.
You know who he was just reminding me of when he was doing it? Because he was all, like lazy-eyed and stuff. It reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite.
Gosh, whatever I feel like.
My lips hurt really bad. Gosh.
Large talons?
Tina, come have some ham.
I noticed you're drinking 1%. Are you doing that because you think you're fat?
Yeah, the other one that I watched recently was there was something in Twitter. We started, and then all of a sudden, it was Barnacules' mustache. I posted that he looked like Farva from Super Troopers, and so then that started the role of Super Trooper quote. So I had to go watch that movie, and I told Xander, I said, it's so funny, you should watch it. And then I watched it, and I'm like, you can't watch this movie.
I think I can watch it right now.
Right meow?
Right now.
Right meow would be a good time to watch it.
Right meow.
Right about
Hey,
now.
James or Glenn, a.k.a. Greg, do you have a printer with dual extrusion? I do not.
I have one that has dual extrusion. That's the one that I decided to try and build myself because I knew better than the engineers. And it doesn't print anything worth printing.
So it's really a zero extrusion.
Actually, I did do some cool stuff with it. With that one, I bought a 110-volt silicon heater because the heated bed that I bought took forever to get up to temperature. And that's the one where I installed the relay into the actual power supply for it. So it's got like a 120-volt relay switch that gets flicked when the 12-volt kicks on for the bed. So that thing, the bed heats up to 80 degrees in like 45 seconds.
Wow, that's really scary.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
But now, are you 110 or 220?
110.
Oh.
You're also 110.
Yeah, but I always thought Canada was 220. And I say that. I used to vacation in Canada, and it was all 110, so I don't know why I was thinking that.
I think you're mixing Canada and Japan up again. You gotta stop doing that.
Well, you know, Canada, the UK, whatever.
I see.
I got the silicon bed that like double-sided adhesives to the underneath of it. I don't know what they're used for. I think they're used for like heating pads and stuff like that. But it heats up super quick. It was fantastic.
Huh.
I see you won first prize.
Is that a Napoleon Dynamite quote?
Well, I gotta get caught up. Mario's here. Hello, Mario. I printed 5 Joel bots. I'm doing a time lapse soon. That's cool. Mario does really good time lapse.
I've done a total of 1 good time lapse so far, as I'm concerned, and that was the Joelbot one.
Do voice with different accounts. You can dump it.
Oh, Scotsman song.
That might not be a bad option. I might look into that. $1 million bill. I have a Canadian $1 million bill. Oh, a Canadian $1 million bill. That's worth what? 75 cents in US dollars.
Stop stealing my jokes. Gosh.
Do chicken have large talons?
Do the chickens
Or
have
for Pedro. I see you won first prize. Scotsman song. Oh, yeah. So, could you guys help me?
Ryan's having a
Wait
by
a minute. Ryan, what do you think this is? Like a call in with your problem hour.
Yeah.
This is a me and James hanging. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I honestly, I can't help you with your problem. I don't use Simplify 3D. I have no idea.
I think the only person that could actually help you at this point would be some sort of technology nerd.
No, seriously, Ryan, get hold of technical support. You paid for that software. You did pay for that software, right? Because if you didn't pay for it, then don't reach out to tech support. But yeah, I mean, I really would. I mean, I would make sure that you're running the most recent version, and then make their technical support fix it. That's what that software is paid for. So, I don't know. Anybody in the chat may know when he's going in to select his printer, and I forget the exact error now, but it came back something with
unable to connect to profile server, something like that.
Yeah.
Did you check your TCP/IP settings?
Did you rebuild your TCP/IP stack?
Have you tried turning it on and off? Actually, we should have started with that. Have you tried turning it on and off?
Yeah, turn it off and back on again. Ron, yes, I actually have built an Octopi. I have a video here on my channel on how to do it. It probably needs to be updated. I'm getting ready to do another one, so I will film that and make sure that it is the most recent. But Octopi is awesome.
And I also have a video coming out on Octoprint running on the Orange Pi. One of these guys right here.
Awesome.
I'm a cheap Canadian, and this is half the price of a Raspberry Pi here.
Yeah, but that's cool, though. You know, I mean, that's...
Well, and this one here, like, this one's pretty cool in the fact that, and I guess their newer versions of the Raspberry Pi are like this as well, but dual USB, HDMI, but it's also got Wi-Fi built into it. So I connect this, I can connect a webcam to the printer and connect to it wirelessly, which is, you know, was one of the goals of the printer, but...
The Pi 3 has Wi-Fi, but I just don't get a stable enough connection out of it. So I don't know if you can see it, but I have a hub or a switch sitting back there, and all of mine are plugged into that. But yeah,
I gave me an old 24-port 10x100 switch that's going on top of my workbench back here, since I don't need like gigabit to all of them. So.
Oh, I wish I could show you. I'll have to figure. I'll send you a picture. I don't know how to show it up on here, but my computer system is all rack mounted around the corner from me. So I don't hear any fans running because it's around the corner, but it's all in a rack. I have a 24-port switch and patch panel, and I got cable running through the whole house. And yeah, it's crazy.
We've got the main switch in the basement here, and all my devices are connected to it. And then I ran a single backbone up to another gigabit switch upstairs, and that serves the all the upstairs bedrooms. So the one down here serves the basement plus the main floor, and yeah, I did all internal wiring too.
Nice. I discovered how to work in inches in Fusion 360, and then changed the unit of measure to millimeter to export to STL to your slicer. I don't know if I missed something there, but okay. Rennie said he just did a stream on it too. It's awesome. Lee said I run Octopi on a Raspberry Pi 3. That's what all mine are. All three of them are Pi 3s.
My very first Octoprint box was an original Raspberry Pi B. It ran okay. I didn't know it could run any better than it did. There's some certain stuff if I canceled a print, it would be 30 seconds to a minute before I could send commands to the printer again. And I didn't think I thought that's just the way it was. So then the first time I installed it on the Orange Pi, which is quad-core 1.5 versus the single 600 megahertz ARM processor in the original one, everything was just instantaneous. I'm I didn't know. I didn't know I was missing out until I had something better. Then I killed that one because it was running my printer bot, and I'm like, no, I'm going to Orange Pi on that one too. So quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, I was reading. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ron said I was surprised that Octopi did time-lapse prints. I actually use a cell phone. Dig that bad boy out. I have it taped down to the desk so it doesn't move. I have it's a Samsung S3 on this cool Thingiverse mount that I found and printed out.
That's awesome.
What's that?
I said I've been meaning to print it. It looks awesome.
Oh, it is. It's really cool. And then you can
print different right?
What's that?
You can print like different heads for it, so like you can attach like a webcam or whatever to it.
Exactly, yeah. So, and it's all positionable and it's cool.
Make
so,
it longer, then you can get a selfie stick.
Yeah, he calls it a selfie stick, but and then I use that as a IP cam, and that's how I grab all my time lapse. But for whatever reason, it crashes if I go above. I think it's 640 by 480 is what it's recording at, and then it'll crash if I go higher resolution than that. So I definitely got to get a better camera. Update your wireless AP or change your channel. You could be having interference. Lee, if that's for me, no, it's not the issue. I don't know. Like, I know that my access point is having trouble, but the Pi would just crap out in between. And once I went hardwired, it was fine, but the wireless works otherwise. So I don't know. And I've run Wi-Fi surveys. I live very rural. There's nobody around here, so like it's not anybody else's wireless that's conflicting with mine. I can't even reach anybody else's wireless, but it's clean. So Xander looks bored. His dad hogs all the talking. I'll shut up and let him talk, but it'll be dead air, I tell you.
Yep.
Yeah. You're gonna crash that into that print.
Yeah.
Not the Windows. Oh, okay. Cat 6. Yes, my whole house is actually wired in Cat 6 at this point. And in fact, when I built the house, everything low voltage is run through pipe into a wiring closet that's on the other side of this wall. And so if I have to pull out the old cable and put in new cable, I can anytime.
My life's not that easy because we moved into a house that was pre-built, so I ran a few lines up the cold air return, and then I've got like a wiring closet upstairs and one downstairs. And then I fished a bunch of the walls to actually put stuff where it needs to be.
Well, in the United States, the way that it is, if you pre-wire your home, you've increased the value, but you've also increased the taxable value.
Oh, gee.
If you pre-plumb it with piping to allow you to wire it, you've increased the value of your home, but not the taxable value.
Gotten off on a technicality.
How crazy is that? Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't know what I spent in piping versus what I saved in taxes. It probably canceled each other out. But the nice part is when computer to computer fiber finally becomes a real thing, I can just pull that copper out of there and run fiber through there. Shane wants to know what percent it's at now.
It's still like 91%. The bar has not moved.
That thing's gonna be printing for another 60 hours.
If it's anything like file copies in Windows 10, it's gonna hit 99, or not Windows 10. In the older versions of Windows, it's gonna hit 99% and then sit there for the next 2 years.
Right. Reggie is leaving. He said he has to wander off, but it was nice meeting you all. Thank you, Reggie, for coming in.
Thanks for stopping by.
Hang out anytime you like. We like to have a good time.
We're here for a good time and a long time, apparently. Just
wireless phones can interfere too. I actually do not have a landline. I only have cell phones. Oh, Gusner's in here. Hello, Gusner. He says hi from Belgium. I don't know. I don't even know if Gusner knows who we are. I know who Gusner is from hanging out in Nillabean's live streams. Justin says he's certified to run fiber. He'll come and wire me up. That'd be awesome. I just don't think I can afford the hardware to go with it. Me, do you plan on making a full-size R2-D2? It's funny that you'd ask that. Did I say that at some point? Because we are actually, ever since Maker Faire, seeing the R2-D2s, we are definitely, in fact, somebody released the plans, the STL files, on Facebook, and I downloaded them, a fully printable R2-D2 full
It
scale.
inspired me to download them because Disney's going after them now, right? Like all the 3D printable stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's Flolistic named his like evil boss or something instead of Darth Vader. Oop, I shouldn't have said that. No.
Demonetized.
The Millennium Malkin.
Well, that's because that thing fails so often, so they call it the Felinium Malkin.
I got a guy that I worked with that tried to print it like no less than 10 times, and when he finally got it successfully, it's because it started to wobble and fall over, and he took Scotch tape and went all the way around it to get it attached to the base. Like that's I think the only thing only large scale thing I've printed in glow in the dark filament, and I torched a nozzle to do it.
Yeah. Well, the whole JoulBot thing, somebody had recommended hot gluing bamboo skewers.
Oh, to stop them from wobbling.
Yeah, stop it from wobbling. Which I never thought about putting hot glue on there. That's awesome.
That JoulBot video where I had to like by myself fail that print, I felt so bad. The red JoulBot. He deserved better.
Custer says it's 5:55 in the morning in Belgium.
Well,
It feels like it's 5:55 here. I told my wife I'd be in bed 2 hours ago.
all JoulBots are awesome, except that red one over there.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe not him. That's another thing Glenn and I have in common. We both lie to our wives about how long things are going to take.
Well, she knew. She's sick anyway. She doesn't really want me around. Justin wants to know what about a BB-8. That'd be awesome, but I think the mechanics behind that's.
I have a remote control BB-8. It works better than the Enterprise.
I'm gonna go find that cat so we can make the BB-8.
What?
We're gonna put the cat in a ball to make the BB-8.
Oh no! You put a hamster in there. The hamster in there, make it run.
But a cat is much better.
Did anyone try the ESP3D on their printer? I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm so out of the loop.
Could I show you the JoulBot? Yes. Glenn, take the camera back for a second.
Why, are you going to like show your backside?
Could be. Probably just did.
Stop talking. I can't even afford the connector tips, so pricey. Yeah, well, you know, someday we're going to get to the point where fiber is like the thing. It's as expensive as copper is. You'd think that would have already gone there, but you know, I mean, we use fiber for audio.
This is the surviving JoulBot. The other two were harmed in the making of that video. I was gonna glue the yellow one's arm back on. I'm like, it's almost as easy for me to just print another yellow one as it is to glue it back on. So
I did not have good luck gluing PLA.
you have to clamp it for a while. And I found actually the one that's worked the best for me so far is a super glue I got at the dollar store here. That's a gel based one. And like as long as it's a fresh bottle, I glue stuff with it and it sticks together well. It seems like if it's been out for like a week or two, like if it's been open for a week or two, it's like loses its adherence or adhesiveness. But yeah, PLA has been tricky.
I remember when super glue used to be good and you could actually, you know, like the commercial showed the guy gluing his hat to the beam.
And then
you
just
could actually do stuff like that. Yeah.
I 3D printed a full-size version of Thor's hammer and crazy glued it, and I didn't put enough glue, and I'm swinging it around, and all of a sudden the head like cracks, and I almost put it through the TV, and then I was like, should probably stop doing that, and it just fell off. So it's not as mighty as the actual Mjolnir.
Where's your JoulBot? Your JoulBot can meet James's JoulBot.
Okay.
I'm JoulBot. JoulBot. I'm way cooler than Xander's JoulBot.
Hey.
They're like the same color.
Mine's a little darker, I think.
That's AIO. That's AIO's regular blue.
This isn't AIO. This is El Cheapo.
El Tipo.
This was again that I bought a whack of that. What is it called? Solutech 3D printing filament from Amazon, and it's like it's not the greatest filament I've ever worked with, but for the cost, especially if I'm sanding and painting it or whatever, then it's the way to go.
Shane wants to know what our favorite filament is.
AIO.
I don't know if I have a favorite. My go-to is AIO Robotics, mainly because I have so much of it. But between AIO, Hatchbox, and Polymaker, the Polylite, those are definitely my 3 favorites. I love Hatchbox's PETG.
I've been super cheap with all my filament purchases, so I haven't gotten into any of the fancy stuff. So my favorite filament's usually whatever I'm using at the time. But like both of these were printed in that cheaper filament. This one here is what I've been sanding and finishing, which trying to get something to look like actual metal when it's made out of plastic is super, super frustrating.
Dude, you gotta try the well, you might not be able to get it. I might have to get a roll and ship it to you. The Polymaker Polylite PLA, it's $25 a kilo, and it really prints like butter. I mean, it is so nice, but it's only available in the U.S.
So that's one of the complicated things with PLA. A lot of people like PLA is very easy to print with because it doesn't warp and stuff like that. It's not as easy to extrude as ABS is. It's a much more, like I would say abrasive, but it's much more prone to jamming and stuff like that, which, I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but to get one that, like you said, prints like butter where it comes out nice and smooth is actually more complicated than ABS, but ABS just curls like a mother.
Yeah, let me see if I can find. Now you can see my backside. Here, I saved this, and it's going to be really hard to show it, but I saved this. This was a piece that I pulled off of the printer, and I pulled it off still hot, so it's all warped.
Yeah.
But that's just a single layer of it, and it's just perfectly flat. So it's nice stuff. I'll have to get with you. I'll order you a roll and ship it to you.
You can just hand it to me when we go to Bay Area. It's incentive for me to go. Gotta go pick up my roll of filament.
Right, you gotta go now, right? Well, Polymaker will be there, so
maybe they'll give me a roll too. But like,
maybe
hey, I
they'll
was that
make
guy that had like 600 and some subs and then lost them all after the contest ended.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Racing Mouse wants to know, James, you don't like TVs and monitors, do you? I feel like I have to ask the context of the. Oh, is it because I knocked over that monitor? Look, the monitor had it coming, and it was coming right for me. I had to do it.
Well, no, what was even funnier about that was like there was somebody that had made a comment. Wasn't that the monitor I loaned you like a year ago?
That's a guy. Yeah. That was an old coworker of mine. That he was a guy that used to make that trip with me every year to that arcade.
Yeah.
He hasn't done it a couple of years. Well, we changed the date, so he still goes when we used to go, and I go in November now because it's quieter. But that was a Value Village one, and the thing is, I slapped it into a chair so that it wouldn't get broken. It still like knocked the bezel off. It still works. I snapped it back together, but I was like, it felt like a foot, not even a foot into a padded chair.
Well, that's why it was at the thrift store. There's still a good conversation going on about copper versus fiber.
We're here to inspire good conversation, but not actually carry it on.
Right. Yeah. We've already moved on from that. And,
I have a solution to that fight. I win.
Xander, like, just don't try and use that argument in the, somebody's trying to beat you up in the schoolyard. Don't just go, yeah, I win, put my arms up, because that just makes it that much more tempting for them to punch you in the gut.
Yes, large man, I know you want to beat me into a pummeled mess, but I win.
Yes, you did, and here's your prize. Wow.
Well, James, I hate to say it, brother, but we should probably cut this off, even though there's still 25 people for some odd reason watching us.
Sometime in my school life, I will most likely get beat up. Just because of my...
I'm surprised you haven't already been beat up.
Yeah.
If anybody tries to bully you, just tell them, hey, I'll tell you what, my dad has a YouTube channel and he'll 3D print you a brain. That's going to go over real well.
Shane, Xander is 11 years old now.
And I win.
He turned 11 in September.
Xander and Thomas could be best buddies.
Yeah. Most
Yeah,
likely.
I think they could get along. So.
Well, you know what's gonna be really funny is when we find out Thomas is grounded because he went to his mom's like, I've got like 300 some YouTube subscribers. She's like, I never told you could be on YouTube. It's like you
Well,
got.
you know, I had that thought, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, he's an 11-year-old with a CR10. Somebody's got to have some idea something's going on, but. And I mean, does he do his own editing? I mean, I'm just blown away by this. You know.
I think him, yeah. I think he's better than both of us combined, and he's only gonna get better.
Yeah, absolutely, and I encourage that. I mean, so it was a hard pick to pick.
Hard pick to pick.
It was a hard pick to pick.
Pick.
You know, like I know Joel went for 5. I didn't want to go for 5. That was a lot, and then of course, like I had to make it up to the sponsors as well. You know, like I had to put the sponsors in there too. So. It was not an easy decision to make for my 3 pick, but I hope this continues. I hope more people, and then of course Joe Mike just did this too, and I'd already been thinking about it, you know, like and I thought, oh, see when Joel had kind of he had kind of mentioned, you know, I'm going to do a giveaway and it's going to help some smaller 3D printing channels. Stay tuned for details, and so I thought, okay, so say I'm Joel, and
hi Joel.
GearBest sends me a printer to do a review on, but we didn't necessarily make an arrangement for it. They just sent it to me, which that happens all the time apparently. So instead of me trying to find time to review a printer that I never had an agreement on, I instead send it to you, and I tell you to do a review on the printer, and then film it and send me the video. And then I peruse it and make sure that it's good. And then I put it on my channel. So now here's you. And I mean, you realize that I get the views on that, but it's also making people know who you are. You know, this was all back before I started this other, I'm still going to call it a rampage.
No.
The word will come to me tomorrow, but campaign or whatever. But so these were and then all of a sudden he does this thing where he calls out the five channels, and we had no idea. Well, in fact, you know that because you told me before I knew. You know, like
yeah, because I was like, oh my god, he's gonna lose it when he wakes up. Because I woke up and you're one of the couple of channels that I like keep an eye on, obviously, and I was like, okay. And then it was like, Joel Tellings released this thing about, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be big.
And it is. I mean, I'm still blown away.
You remember I said to you, it's actually funny. I specifically said to you, you're going to probably top out around 5,500. You ended up at 5,504 or 5 or whatever it was.
5,506 right now. So.
Yeah, get it straight.
But you know, so like I wanted to carry that on, and I knew that I was going to carry that on, and then Joe Mike did it, and it was like, yes, you know, this is what we need. You know, like it can't be just about me, because when you do a giveaway, it's not about gaining more subscribers, because generally the only people that are there are the people who are already subscribed. The giveaway is about thanking the people who follow you. You know, it's reaching out. It's reaching out to your peeps and saying, hey, look, I appreciate you enough that I went out and begged for stuff to give to you. And and that's what it felt like. But this way, it also gives back to the community another way. You know, like Joel gave me subscribers that would have taken me years to get. And now I've given you subscribers that it would have taken you another 10 minutes to get. I just don't have the Joel effect, but it. I was giddy. I was giddy going to sleep on Friday night, knowing that this was coming, and it launched at 3:30 in the morning. I was originally going to do it at midnight, my time or our time, but that would have been 9 p.m. Thursday night in California. So I changed it to go out at 3:30, and. But I was giddy going to sleep knowing that when I woke up, I was changing lives. You know, like as stupid as that is. it was just really, it was really cool to know that you had no idea what was coming.
I feel like Thomas didn't realize yet.
He may not. I don't know. I posted to one of his videos and I said, "Good morning, Thomas." Or,
I saw that.
Hey, Thomas.
Well, because I keep going back to his last video to see if he's posted anything. Also, yes, Austin, we are reading chat like ever so occasionally.
Yeah, well, we were reading chat more before, but it's
Now this is just our goodnight speech.
yeah, we are definitely getting ready to oh, initiative. That's a great word. I like initiative. Austin called that. I was calling it a rampage, but it's an initiative. I'm going to go with that one. I'm tired. I'm having a hard time putting speech together at this point.
Yeah, words are hard.
Yeah, it's time. And I'm not saying that we need to take away from Angus and take away from Joel and take away from, anybody. The big guys get to keep doing what they're doing. That's not what it's about either. But it's time that the smaller channels, I mean, I wouldn't even be opposed to the printing companies the manufacturer sending it to just Average Joe. But if Average Joe doesn't have a YouTube channel, he's not going to get the word out. So, but I want to see some sub 1,000 subscriber channels doing reviews on hardware. That's the way it should be. And then when they get bigger, then maybe they don't get as many and it goes to somebody smaller again. So
Bye, Game Critic. He's saying bye to Greg/Joel/Glenn.
Good night, Shane. Thanks for stopping by.
And I have a tab open from before your giveaway launched. It still shows me at 305 subscribers.
Yeah, I went into all three of your guys' YouTubes and screenshotted them the night, Friday night before or Thursday night before, just so that I would have that original. And then I have multiple windows of Social Blade open. I've been watching through just to see. So, and of course, I mean, it's all about these guys. It's all about the subscribers. And yes, the only reason they went and subscribed to you was because I offered to give them a possible prize. But now they know who you are, and now you get to take the torch and keep them, just like Joel did to us, and that was the scary part, because Saturday was really exciting. I mean, when we made that video, like, it was so exciting, and then later that night, all of a sudden it set in that, holy crap, I now have to entertain 5,000 people. Well, I mean, at that point it was, I think, 2,000, but it was still like, I'm no longer only entertaining 347 with my 10 people cult following. It's now, but then that's Xander and I sat down and we said, look, we can't change. We have to be exactly who we were yesterday forever. We always have to be us. We have to stay true to our core. If we don't retain the 5,000, then it was never meant to be. So, I mean, we don't want to force anybody to be here. We want to entertain everybody, but they have to accept us for who we are, as nutty as I am. So,
by the way, you guys just went up another subscriber. You're at 5,507.
507. Yeah, I have my scroller sitting. I don't know if you've seen that, but I have it sitting right here.
Now we get paid more.
I watch it constantly.
Now it's time to do your 5,507 giveaway.
Time to do a 5,507.
I actually thought about doing that to be different, like just using a random number generator. Like, okay, my next giveaway is going to be at, and then they're like 735 subscribers.
Well, I mean, you and I, like, we were talking, and we were DMing, but
we were saying text messages to each other.
When I was, like I said, we got to sit down, we got to do a video thanking the people for X many of subscribers, and you said, well, you better start doing your 5,000 thank you video now. Like, it was going up so insanely fast. So, but think about this, because this was, and maybe I said this earlier, but Joel has 150,000 subscribers.
Yep.
And out of 150,000, I got 5,000. And I'm not saying like, oh, boo hoo hoo, I didn't get 150, but so he's got 150,000 subscribers, but only 5,000 of them entered the contest. I have 5,000 subscribers. How many do you get? Like.
Well, I started thinking about that though. So you figure like the 5,000 plus that came over to you, they're the ones that are also interested in free stuff. So it's kind of like the conversion rate's probably going to be higher for your giveaway than it was for Joel's because you already have people that are interested in getting free stuff.
That's a good point.
Stuff!
Cool new stuff. Well, and like I didn't want to have like a, like when we had the 250 giveaway, I reached out to AIO expecting, maybe they'd offer a couple of rolls of filament. When they offered me 12, that blew me away. That to me was an amazing giveaway for 250 subscribers. As simple as that was. And again, that was to get a few more subscribers. That was a drive giveaway. This giveaway was just to thank all these people for subscribing and for sticking around. So like I wanted to have good, and I think that I did well. I think that the vendors really hooked me up, and that this is a great. I mean, it's like $500 worth of stuff that we're giving away. So
you'd be like, I mean, $50 worth of stuff that we're giving away, and $450 worth of stuff that's going to disappear.
Actually, no, because the vendors don't give you this stuff.
All right,
AIO was going to send it to me so that I could separate it, but everybody else direct ships, and I think they do that intentionally for that. So, which I said to Polymaker, I said that's probably pretty good because if you send it to me, I may not forward it on.
No, we don't split the YouTube profit.
Hope you guys split the YouTube profit. Xander bothers me all the time about that. Do I get half? Do I get half? And I tell him every time
25%.
He absolutely gets half once he starts paying half. Because I pay out way, way more than we make doing this.
You gotta spend money to make money, Xander.
Oh yeah. So I mean, so far the $6 that we've earned on YouTube is, maybe a Big Mac. I don't know.
Yeah, if we put our money together, we could go out for a nice lunch for one.
Yeah, exactly. We have to share the drink. Yeah. So.
I just hope to eventually, because you have to get $100 before YouTube will pay it out. So I hope to just eventually, maybe one day, see a check that has YouTube on it or Google. Look, I got paid by the Google.
Just frame it and hang it up. So
I feel like we should probably start to wrap this up.
Yeah. I'm just reading the chat. Yeah, Shane said that he learned about us from Joel, which is most of our subscribers, a grand majority of our subscribers. Austin said, I wish I remember what sub number I was. It was under 100 for sure, which is awesome.
I don't remember what number I was for you either.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever paid attention as I subscribed to other people, but
I think you were in under 100 for me. I think you were like number 95 or 96. Although I don't really remember how we started talking. Maybe through Ryan's channel?
Through Ryan's channel.
Yeah.
So, which I found Ryan because of Joel. So
it's Joel's fault.
It's the Joel effect. Shane wants to know if I can use the hot box, and unfortunately, no, I can't. You can only use the hot box when you're in OBS. It doesn't work with Google Hangouts. So unfortunately, no. But
spoiler alert: Xander's coming back with a Joel bot.
When we're doing our regular live feed, when I don't have a guest, then I'll be using the hot box.
Joel is awesome, but I've been informed by a very reliable source on the internet that he hates me.
Oh, that's a reliable source?
Reliable.
Hey, give it an email. It has to be true.
Yeah. Yeah, but isn't it nice to just be able to click a couple buttons and have that information verified or not?
True.
He's just really an awesome guy. Gusser said Xander gets ice cream. No, I'm not even buying him an ice cream.
Yeah.
That's the real reason why I want to get off, because they said ice cream and now I want ice cream, and there's ice cream in the freezer upstairs. Although I've been kind of like milking this because I'm so close to 700. I was hoping I was going to hit 700 while we were doing this.
Yeah,
I'm at 67.
You have how many?
697.
Oh,
All right, anybody that's in the chat right now that has not subbed to James,
Go, go, go.
I'm gonna
Go
put a
right
link
now.
to your channel.
Do it now.
They're subbing to me. They unsub for me.
We're all gonna go unsub.
Yeah.
Do it, and I'll give you a chocolate.
Don't say that, or you'll be sending out a lot of chocolates.
Oh, yeah.
And make
But
promises.
it's opposite day.
You can't make promises you don't intend to keep.
But it's opposite day. So you won't.
All right, I posted a link to James's channel. Anybody that's it just went down one.
Oh, come on.
That was
Really?
me. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it just went down to $6.96.
You owe me a chocolate.
Now it's
Ooh.
$6.99. $6.99. $6.99. As I clap like a monkey.
700. There we go. Bam.
Oh, it
Okay,
didn't
remember
update
you
on my
unsub.
side.
It
It
went
doesn't
back down
count
to
yet.
0.
It doesn't update it on my side. It doesn't count.
Come on, one more. One more.
Are you still watching Social Blade or whatever? That thing don't count for nothing.
Yeah, I'm watching Social Blade. But are you refreshing YouTube on there? It goes.
700.
There's 700. Thank you, everybody. That was awesome. That's a fantastic way to end the night.
I wish I had another webcam to high five off the top of my screen now.
I guess I should put you back up on the screen so I can see you.
Okay, bye.
All right, that's it. Ghost said, "You guys are still live." Yes, but I swear this is it. We really are ending it now.
I don't think we've been actually live for a while. We're still chatting though.
I am exhausted. It has been a couple of very, very long days of putting up a lot of Christmas lights, and I will have a video of that very soon.
Also, thanks to all of those guys that subscribed to me and helped me hit 700. Much appreciated. I promise. I'd like to say I promise not to disappoint, but let's face it, I'm going to disappoint. Set the bar low and hope for the best.
I think it'll be fine. Ron, the Happy Extruder, he's going to have to step up. He hasn't actually made a video in about a month, and that's one of the reasons that I picked him. I was gonna put Ryan in there. I don't know if Ryan's still watching, but the only reason I didn't was because he said he was getting out of the 3D printing, and so. But now I don't know. The way he was talking tonight, maybe I should have put him in there. So.
Thank you, Shane, for being my 700th subscriber.
Look at that, and he'll remember that forever. So there it is. There's my call out to you, Ryan. I absolutely would have put you in on the contest, but I thought you were done. So
now can my Joel Bot give James's Joel Bot a high five?
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. That's just a little weird. We can't reach the camera. It's so far away. It's like 6 feet away from our face.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you throw it at it. Don't actually throw it at it.
No,
You'll break everything.
You said a few short hours, but no, that was 5 deadly long hours.
So, all right. Well,
I need at least 12 naps.
Let's,
I'm tired, and I didn't do anything intelligent tonight.
I don't know if we really need to do any type of outro, but go ahead and give everybody a quick rundown on who you are and what you do, James.
I'm James. I run Print and Play. I make annoying commercials that Xander loves. You guys are all subscribed to me now, though, so thanks. Hope you stick around, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
And I'm Glenn.
And I'm Xander.
And together we are Fun King 3D, and we are just beside ourselves having you guys. It's awesome. It's humbling, and we hope that we can do stuff that entertains you and teaches you, and we hope that you guys can teach us stuff too. So,
and I hope James makes more of those annoying commercials. So
yeah,
I can laugh at them.
it's funny because I'm talking to the chat because that's where you guys all are, but the camera's up there. So I guess I'll look you in the face and say thank you so much. And we hope that you stick with us for a while. We appreciate you being here. If you haven't already entered our contest, do so. There are some great prizes in there. And as I promised the last time, there is some international prizes this time because there was a lot of people disappointed that there was no outside the U.S. the last time. So there is this time. And other than that,
High five.
High five? No, that's Joel's line.
Print on.
This is Joel.
Print on. Good night, guys. Sit tight, James.